And so, after you deliver it, you call me and I tell you all about the symbol you saw. Ah, yes, waterlogged. You must swim underwater to reach the place where I saw the noisette. And the water is very cold. You will need a wetsuit. Good luck, Nancy Drew. You will need that too. Some of the tunnels, especially near the Mouton Beverage Company, they are water filled with trees. But if you go there, you must be careful. The tunnel police, they are one problem. The tunnels, they are another. Yes, that is French for hazelnut. I have seen it in only one place in the catacombs. To reach this place, return to the catacombs and go to the skull where you left Jing-Jing's autograph. Lift the top part of the skull and push the red button. That will open a secret passage that will lead you to the noisette. It is magnifique! You were wise not to try to fool me, Nancy. I know Jing's handwriting better than I know my own. So, here is what I know about that symbol. I call it the hazelnut because to me that is what it looks like. A noisette. Do what I ask, Nancy Drew. Then we will talk. Then, Nancy Drew, it seems we will both be very disappointed. Yes, exactly that. Don't worry about desecrating the person whose bones they may be. The skull, it is a fake. My friend and I put it there. You must have her write something that I can keep. Have her write, Zou, my love, Jing. Then, take the metro to the Denfert Rochereau station, enter the catacombs, find the bones from the Magdalen Cemetery, and put the autograph in the skull below the plaque. Yes, of course I can. But first, you must have Jing write something for me. Yes, I am Zu. Yes, paranoid. So, if you are not Jing, why do you call me? You are the most lucky person in the monde. I am a big fan of Jing. I call her house and leave massage. I call Minette because I know she works there, but she will not talk to me. She is too, what is the word? Paranormal? From her phone. So, you know Jing. Are you her friend? Hello? Jing? Hello? Jing? Hello? Jing-Ling? Is it truly you? Hello? I know you are calling for Minette. Please, tell me. Is this Jing?
You will make them in parfait glasses like this one. Question?
Well, actually,
Good. Get to work. Good. Get to work. You will make them in parfait glasses like this one. Question? I do not like to serve mistakes. For every parfait you make incorrectly, you will have to make another one. Perhaps many other ones. So, no mistakes. If you make a mistake, throw out what you have done and start over. Ring this bell to signal me when a parfait is ready to be served. This will show you what each kind of parfait should look like and what kind of parfait you must make next. This will tell you how many parfaits you still have to make. This will tell you how many parfaits you still have to make and what kind of parfait you must make next. This is the parfait station. You see before you the ingredients. Ice creams, fruit, whipped cream. Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Oh là là! C'est pas bien! Ah non! C'est bien! Parfait! Oui, c'est ça! Merci! Excusez-moi, mademoiselle. Ces Américains, ils connaissent rien. I bring food no more to you. No more! Certainement. Ça fait 11 €, s'il vous plaît. 10 €. Ça fait 9 €. Ça fait 9 €. Ça fait 5 €. Ça fait 5 €. 12 €, s'il vous plaît. 12 €, s'il vous plaît. Ça fait 8 €, s'il vous plaît. Ça fait 8 €, s'il vous plaît. T'as une tête de bœuf. T'as une tête de bœuf. Allez-vous-en, Merloc. Allez-vous-en, Merloc. Quelle tête de gélatine. Quelle tête de gélatine. T'es une cousine d'une grande vache. T'es une cousine d'une grande vache. Oui, mademoiselle. Oui, mademoiselle. D'accord. Très bien. Mademoiselle.
We're sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. This is a recording.
Ça fait combien de temps que je travaille ici? Ça fait 2 ans. Ça fait 2 ans? Bon, ben, écoute, ça fait combien de temps que je travaille ici? Ça fait 2 ans. Ça fait 2 ans? Bon, ben, écoute, ça fait combien de temps que je travaille ici? Ça fait 2 ans. Ça fait 2 ans? Bon, ben, écoute. On devrait faire ça cet après-midi. Non, Jacques, oh, Nicole. On devrait faire ça cet après-midi. Non, Jacques, oh, Nicole. On devrait faire ça cet après-midi. Non, Jacques, oh, Nicole. Oh oui, ben, on devrait. Oh oui, ben, on devrait.
Dans le carré de la qualité. C'est vraiment très beau, regardez-vous. Dans le carré de la qualité. C'est vraiment très beau, regardez-vous. Dans le carré de la qualité. C'est vraiment très beau, regardez-vous. Jamais les murs n'auraient pu tenir ça pareil. Pourtant, ils ont l'air épais, mais enfin, il faut faire confiance aux gens qui disent ça maintenant, jusqu'au moment où quelqu'un dira le contraire. Jamais les murs n'auraient pu tenir ça pareil. Pourtant, ils ont l'air épais, mais enfin, il faut faire confiance aux gens qui disent ça maintenant, jusqu'au moment où quelqu'un dira le contraire.
Here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where. The only person who knows where we're going is Laurie Gerard. Good luck! You never know what you'll turn up in the game, so be sure to explore. Don't forget to trust your instincts and have fun. When you're ready to start, remember, junior detective is not quite as tough as the senior level, so you might want to start there. That's it, you're ready to tackle the case. I'll return you to the player challenge screen. If you make a major mistake, say you fall off a roof or blow something up, you can select Second Chance from the main menu to get back to where you were before you goofed. Hang in there, we're almost done. If there are a lot of words in the text box, you know how some people can talk, use the scroll box on the left to move the text up and down so that you can read along. And I couldn't help but notice that you're dressed like a chicken. What's up with that? Who, me? Oh no, I wasn't snooping. I was just looking for a dictionary. I keep forgetting how to spell perpetrator. Excuse me, sir, but I don't snoop. I sleuth. Excuse me, miss, but I couldn't help but notice that you're doing an awful lot of snooping around. Give it a try. Select a question or a reply by clicking on it and listen to what your suspect says next. In the game, you can talk to the people you meet. The conversation will appear in the text box below the scene. The words of the person you're talking to will be in blue, and my replies will be in white. Is that everything? Oh, I almost forgot one of the most important detective skills. You know, questioning suspects. If you click on the clipboard with a check mark, you'll see a list of what I need to do. Organized person that I am, once I've done something, I check it off. If the book tab is active, you'll see my journal, which is where I keep all my observations concerning information I've gathered and people I've met. The notepad at the bottom of the screen is where I keep reminders to myself. Click on it and you'll see what I mean. To send a picture to someone, scroll to the picture you'd like to send, then click on the Send button, click on a name from your directory, then click the Send button again. To view the pictures you've taken, click on Menu, then click on View Pictures. To scroll through your pictures, use the scroll buttons at the top of the screen. You can also take pictures with your cell phone. Just click on the Cam button, aim the viewfinder at whatever you want to take a picture of, and click. You can use this phone to dial a number yourself, or you can automatically dial any of the numbers stored in the directory. And if you need to call someone, all you have to do is click on the cell phone at the bottom of the screen. Try it. You can close the toolbox by clicking on the square in the upper right-hand corner. To return an object to your toolbox, just click on the tool icon, then click on the Open Toolbox, and the object will go back into storage. See how the cursor turned into the item you clicked on? Use the key to click on the lock on my suitcase, and you'll see how good I've gotten at packing. When the Hand tab is active, you'll see the objects that you can use to manipulate other objects. Find the key in your toolbox and click on it. When the Eye tab is active, you'll see only those objects which you might want to look at over and over again, like letters or messages. Now click on the Hand tab. If the All tab is active, you'll see all the objects you've collected during the game. Now click on the tab with the eye on it. To see what's in your toolbox, just click on the tool icon at the bottom of the screen, which will light up whenever you've added something new. Good work! You're a natural. You just picked up the key and added it to your toolbox. See how the magnifying glass turned into a hand when you rolled it over the key? That means you can pick the key up. Click on it and see what happens. Now turn to the right, step over to the table beside the bed, and roll your cursor over the key that's on the table. When the magnifying glass turns into a question mark, you can talk to someone. When it becomes a hand, you can use it to open and close things, pick up objects, and move things around. When you want to go back to where you came from or turn around, find where your cursor turns into an arrow at the bottom of the screen and click. Try it. Move your mouse until the magnifying glass turns red. Then click to zoom in. I always carry my magnifying glass with me to scan for clues. When it turns red, I know I'm onto something. Give it a try. Find the forward arrow and check out my suitcase. A forward arrow allows you to advance in the direction you want to go. Likewise, a back arrow allows you to take a step back. Sometimes up and down arrows are available too. Move your cursor to the left or right edge of the screen and you'll automatically move in that direction. You can turn off this auto move feature in the Game Setup menu. When you're in the center of a room, you can turn around in a circle to see the whole room. We'll use this room as an example. As always, your mission is to solve the mystery. You're going to step into my shoes and be my eyes and ears. It will be up to you to decide my every move. Click on Next to continue. Welcome to my latest case, Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, click on Tutorial. Welcome to my latest case, The Secret of the Old Clock. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, click on Tutorials. Nope.
Here's everything you'll need.
I'll just send her one. Wrong answer. Are you going to connect me with Minette or not? Get her on the phone now. No, just get her on the phone. Just get her on the phone. I need to speak to Minette.
Did you hear? Off the sofa! Get down this instant! Oh no, there, you see? You've left a stain! Bad, naughty! You are simply not to be trusted, are you? Sometimes you don't make one iota of sense. Just send me the designs as quickly as possible, dear. I do so hate waiting. Ah, you've sent them. That's just silly, dear. Wonderful. I'm sure they're going to knock my socks off and blow me away, as you young people like to say. Lucille, get the deodorizer, please. Philip's been in here again, I'm afraid. Goodbye, dear. Or shall I say, à tout à l'heure. Fashion design? You? Oh, goody gumdrops. Why my husband insists on sitting here in my study in his soggy tennis togs when he has the run of the whole villa is beyond me. Oh dear, thanks to that scallywag I've quite forgotten what we were talking about.
The instructions are all right there. Piece of cake. Nancy, tell her the designs are done and will be shipped to her by the end of the week. Then go to the work table and finish them. Oh, shoot.
Oh, good heavens, yes, of course, Nancy Drew. Why, as I understand it, it was largely because of your investigatory prowess that my real necklace was recovered soon thereafter. What on earth is a nascent detective like you doing answering the telephone for Minette? Get down from there. Excuse me, dear. Prudence Rutherford. All I want is for someone there to tell me how the ensemble I'm paying Minette to design for me is coming along. Winter's almost upon us, you know. I'm getting a tad antsy. Nancy Drew. Oh my, that name is familiar. But for the life of me, I cannot remember why. Nancy Drew. This is going to drive me mad. Nancy, Prudence Rutherford here. Where are the designs for my ensemble? I haven't received them yet and I'm getting a tad concerned. No, to be honest, I'm getting very concerned. Bonjour, est-ce que c'est Heather?
Non, non, je suis confus.
Ouais, comme d'habitude.
T'as jamais entendu l'histoire de la bête de Blackmoor?
Ah oui, ça me fait très peur. Ne parle pas de ça.
Qui est là?
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
C'est le père Fouettard.
Arrête. Continuons avec nos études.
D'accord, mais tu commences.
Very well. My name is Jean-Claude. Do you like my new pantalon?
Pas pantalon, pense.
Quoi?
Pense, pense, pense.
I am thinking.
Insupportable. Attends.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Il y a quelqu'un là.
Non merci. Je préfère ne pas savoir.
Oh, que tu es lâche.
Je suis pas lâche.
Eh ben,
Qu'est-ce qu'on fait ce soir?
on cherche des ovnis?
Tu rigoles.
Non, je ne suis pas d'accord.
Pourquoi?
Parce que les ovnis n'existent pas.
Mais L'absence de la preuve ne prouve pas l'absence.
Avec cette logique, il y a un monstre dans ce coin-là.
Quoi?
Oui, il y a un monstre vert, gigantesque, avec les dents tachées de sang.
Ne dis pas ça, ça me fait peur. T'es sûr?
Non, mais l'absence du monstre ne prouve pas qu'il n'existe pas. Va voir.
Non, c'était rien.
T'es sûr?
Ouais, allons-y.
That is one sweet ride. Répète, Fabrice. That is one sweet ride.
Oh, plus d'anglais, Jean-Claude, ça m'énerve.
Practice. It makes perfection. Dis ça. I'm totally done with that, dude.
Chut! Tu l'as entendu? Coucou! Y a quelqu'un? Allô? J'ai entendu quelque chose.
That's just Minette throwing one of her tantrums. Don't worry, she'll stop screaming right now.
Fine. Well, actually, they lost my suitcase, so I don't have any clothes or my cell phone. What's going on in there? Is someone hurt?
Bonjour, are you Nancy?
Yeah?
I'm Heather McKay. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. How was your flight?
Stay back, you hear me? Stay back! I said don't come near me.
No, Minette, don't!
Nancy, if you don't get that phone, you're fired.
Nancy?
What's this?
That's the plotter. It's broken. Fixing it is one of your jobs.
You mean waterlogged? What do you mean? Great, thank you. Wait a minute, a noisette? But what if Jing Jing refuses? Have her write, Zoo, my love Jing, go to the catacombs, find the Magdalene cemetery bones, and leave the autograph in a skull. Have her write, Zoo, my love Jing, go to the catacombs, find the Magdalene cemetery bones, and leave the autograph in a skull. Write something for you? Well, Zoo, my name is Nancy Drew, and I saw a symbol on the wall when I was in an underground passage not too long ago. It looked like 2 leaves with 2 nut-type things attached to them, and I just wondered if you could tell me what it meant or why it was there. This is Zoo, right? You mean paranoid? Well, yeah, I guess. It's Nancy Drew. Did you get the autograph? No, it's just me again. No, it's only me, Nancy Drew. No, this isn't Jing Jing. I'm just calling from her phone. No, I'm afraid not. But I know Jing Jing. In fact, I'm staying at her place. Right. And if I were to refuse? Don't worry, I'll get them out of there for you. Maybe you should just call an exterminator. What exactly do you want me to do? Who? What happened? I did it. Great, thank you. Just one question. What's a parfait? I get to make parfaits? All right. Yeah, I get the picture. Do you know anything about the stones that are in the background of that picture? They almost look like dials. Do you think I could see the uncropped picture? The picture of Minette that was in the June issue of Glam Glam, was it cropped? Do you remember? Hello? Hello? Guess he hung up. I'm sorry, she's busy. May I take a message? No. Could you hold, please? Who is this? One moment, please. I'm afraid I'm going to have to take a message. I'll see what I can do. She is unavailable. May I tell her who's calling? I'm sorry, but she's unavailable. Minette's House of Design. Well, not quite yet, but I will be sending them very, very soon, and as soon as I do, I will have sent them, which is just about as close to having sent them as you can get. Yes, well, in any case, we'll be sending you the finished designs for the ensemble very shortly. Yes. See, the more I learned about the way ancient Maya dressed, the more interested I became in how modern people dress. You should have them by the end of the week. I was just about to tell you that I'm working for Minette because I'm interested in fashion design. I forget, too. But the important thing is, I'm going to ship you some designs very shortly. You want me to finish them? I know you. I talked to you when I was working at the Beach Hill Museum in Washington, D.C. I'm Nancy Drew, remember? You sent me a copy of your fire ruby necklace. You know, the one that had been stolen? Prudence Rutherford. I understand. And your name is? Can you tell me what this is regarding? May I ask who this is? You will be getting them very soon. Well, actually, they're on their way. Would you like to speak with Heather? This is Nancy Drew. Bonjour, Minette's House of Design. I did it! Please make sure these pieces make a safe return to the world above when you see them as they were meant to be seen, with sunlight streaming through their panes, interrupting the darkness with color and meaning and joy. Only then will you truly understand why I did what I did a lifetime ago. N.T. And gradually time passed and Paris healed and I healed. Yet the right time for telling the world my secret never seemed to come. And now I am Director of Public Works, a job I hold not only because I love this city, but because I wanted to make sure that someone, you, would be able to eventually find what I hid. Then, when at long last I was deemed innocent, my anger subsided, but fear took its place. I was afraid that if I revealed what I had done, the accusations would start up again, and people would once again call me a criminal and question my motives and assail my character, and it would have been too much to bear. Hans had gone back to Germany, and despite his promises to the contrary, I knew I would never see him again. Like everyone else, I just wanted to get on with what was left of my life, so again I said nothing. But why, you are asking, why when the war ended did I not return them? Why did I not even admit taking them? At first it was because I was angry. After all that I had done for my country, when my friendship with Hans was discovered, people turned against me and accused me of terrible things. I wanted to hurt the people of Paris the way they were hurting me, so I said nothing about the stained glass. If you are reading this, it means that I am dead and that you have discovered my secret. Yes, the rumors were correct. With the help of Hans von Schwesterkrank, I took the stained glass you see in front of you and hid it, not for personal gain, but so these exquisite pieces of art would not be lost to the dangers of war. I was not a traitor, nor was Hans. He helped me because he knew it was the right thing to do. If you are reading this, it means that I am dead and that you have discovered my secret. Yes, the rumors were correct. With the help of Hans von Schwesterkrank, I took the stained glass you see in front of you and hid it, not for personal gain, but so these exquisite pieces of art would not be lost to the dangers of war. I was not a traitor, nor was Hans. He helped me because he knew it was the right thing to do. But why, you are asking, why when the war ended did I not return them? Why did I not even admit taking them? At first it was because I was angry. After all that I had done for my country, when my friendship with Hans was discovered, people turned against me and accused me of terrible things. I wanted to hurt the people of Paris the way they were hurting me, so I said nothing about the stained glass. Then, when at long last I was deemed innocent, my anger subsided, but fear took its place. I was afraid that if I revealed what I had done, the accusations would start up again, and people would once again call me a criminal and question my motives and assail my character, and it would have been too much to bear. Hans had gone back to Germany, and despite his promises to the contrary, I knew I would never see him again. Like everyone else, I just wanted to get on with what was left of my life, so again I said nothing. And gradually time passed, and Paris healed, and I healed, yet the right time for telling the world my secret never seemed to come. And now I am Director of Public Works, a job I hold not only because I love this city, but because I wanted to make sure that someone, you, would be able to eventually find what I hid. Please make sure these pieces make a safe return to the world above, when you see them as they were meant to be seen, with sunlight streaming through their panes, interrupting the darkness with color and meaning and joy. Only then will you truly understand why I did what I did a lifetime ago. N.T., May 18th, 1989. All right, bye. Okay, au revoir. I might just do that. Au revoir. Then I'm not interested. I'll take it. Guess I'm just not in a buying mood. Actually, I'm not interested in buying anything right now. Actually, I don't see anything else. I don't think so. I'll give you €1. €3 would be okay. I'd rather pay you €5. How about €8? I don't want it after all. I think it's worth maybe €1. I'll give you €5 for it. €10 sounds about right to me. Would you take €15 instead? I'll give you €1 for it. Would you take €20 for it? I'll buy it for €40. That's a little pricey. How about €60? I don't really need it. It's just a little cone. €1. I think €3 is a fair price. I'll give you €5 for it. Would you take €8 for it? I'm not interested. Magic isn't my thing, but it's kind of pretty. I'll give you €1 for it. I'll pay you €21 for it. That's too much. Would you settle for €43? Whoa, that's a lot. What if I give you €64? I don't think so. Would you take €1 for it? I'll pay you €4. €8 seems like a fair price to me. I'll give you €12 for it. Never mind. I'm not really into makeup. I'll pay you €1 for it. Would you let me have it for €6? Will you take €12 for it? What if I give you 18 instead? I think I'll pass. I don't play, but would you take €1 for it? I'll give you €9 for it. How about €18 instead? Will you take €26 for it? No thanks. It's still just lipstick. €1. How about €5? I think €10 is a fair price. I'll pay you €14. I changed my mind. I don't want it. Would you take €1 for it? I'll pay you €3. 10's too much. How about €5? How about €8? I don't think I want it after all. It's basically a piece of stone. I'll give you €1 for it. Would you take €13 instead? I'll give you half that, say €27. Make that €40 and you've got a deal. I'll take it. To be honest, I don't have enough money to buy anything. You wanted €10 for these? These might come in handy. I guess. You'll sell this to me for how much? What's the price of this lava lamp? How much did you say this was? How expensive is this bowling ball? What is the price of this again? Does this cost very much? What's the price of this again? What is this? How much did you say this was? Is there something special about this stuffed animal? This was how many euros? I should probably get this book on makeup. How much did you say this cost? What do you want for this golf club? How much is this lipstick again? Is this just red lipstick? You said this is how much? How much is this wooden plane? How much did you say this is? This piece of stone looks interesting. Well, let's see. No, thank you. It's all yours. Actually, I have a job here in Paris, but it's only temporary, so I guess I'm kind of a tourist. Well, you're wearing a mask just like Manette's. Well... Yes, you do. Well, let's see. I certainly am. Would you by any chance like to buy the stuff I have in this bag? I will. Au revoir. I might just do that. Bye. No thanks. I don't need one that badly. €1. What about €3? €5 seems fair. Would you take €8 for it? I don't want it after all. I don't really believe in luck. I'll pay you €1 for it. €8 sounds reasonable to me. Will you take €15 instead? I'll give you €23 for it. No thanks. I don't think it's worth more than €1 myself. I'll give you €2 for it. How about €3? Will you take 5 instead? I don't think I want them after all. I'll take them off your hands for €1. How about I give you €5 instead? Would €9 do the trick? I could give you €14. I'll take them. I'll take it off your hands for €1. I'll give you €8. Will you let me have it for €15? How about €23? How much do you want for this? I could use a flashlight. Mine was in my lost luggage. What did you say you'd sell this for? This plastic shark looks kind of interesting. What will you sell this for? What do you want for this doll's head? You said these gloves are how much? Are these gloves very expensive? How much is this? I could use a French-English dictionary. How much? I did it! Guess I'll be going. I'd better get back to work. I won't disturb you any longer. Do you have any idea who sent you that box of cockroaches? Who are they from? One of them is... Oh, it's nothing. Never mind. One of those anonymous letters you got was from her. There's something that I think you should know about Heather. Why did you break up with Dieter? I got the feeling he'd spoken with you before. He sounded kind of angry. Someone with a German accent called for you when you were fitting JJ, but he didn't leave a message. That was a joke. I thought maybe you were just trying to save money on makeup. You don't really expect anyone to buy that, do you? Why do you wear that mask? She asked you to design a dress for her? First Lady of the United States? But I'm not sure what you want. I'm just supposed to go out and buy things? Could I ask you a couple of questions first? Yes, I'm all set. I'm afraid you didn't give me enough money. I'm going to need a few more euros. I'm sorry, I'm still kind of getting oriented. I've been in the other room, you know, talking to Heather. Au revoir. I don't feel like it right now. That's a good idea. May I? Paint for you? Not right now. Maybe later. I'd love to, if that's okay. Monsieur, how's this? Perhaps. I'm sorry. Let me try again. I think maybe I need to take a break. I'm sorry. Let me try again, please. I think I'll pass. I think I'll pass. I'd rather give you €1 for it. I can give you €4 for it. How about €8? Make that €11 and we have a deal. Deal. What's mouton fouetté? And the last thing I need right now is a gnome. Would you give it to me for €1? I think it's worth more like €11. I'll give you €22 for it. Make that €33 and it's a deal. I'm not into movies or blue canisters, so I pass. I'll give you €1 for it. Would you take €21 instead? I think it's probably worth more like €42. That's a lot of money. How about €63? I'm not interested. It's still just a coffee can. I'll take it off your hands for €1. I'll give you €2. Would you take €4 for it? What if I offered you €5 for it? I'm not interested. I really don't think I'd use it that much. I'll pay you €1. How about I give you €3 for it? €6 is more like it. I think €8 would be more appropriate. I don't think so. I think €1 is a fair price. I'd rather buy it for €2. €4 is more my speed. I'll give you €6 for it. I think I'll pass. I'll give you €1 for it. Too much. €5 is more like it. Would €9 be okay? How about €14? No, thank you. But it's yellow. I think €1 is plenty. I'll give you €11 for it. What would you say to €23? I'd rather give you €34 for it. I don't think I want it after all. I changed my mind. Not interested. It's just a fake arm. I'll give you €1 for it. Would you take €5 instead? I'll give you half that. Say €9. Make that €14 and you've got a deal. I'll buy it. Actually, I can't buy anything because I don't have enough money. I really don't want to buy anything right now. What are you asking for this guy again? Does this guy cost very much? How much did you say yak costs? What's in here? A movie? This costs how much? Can never have too many of these, I guess. How much is this? This book on car repair might come in handy. What's the price of this again? This miniature red wagon is kind of cute. What do you want for this? I've seen this game before. This thing costs how much? You're selling a manhole cover? How much did you say this mechanical arm is? Where have I seen this arm before? Thanks. I don't want to sell it after all. I accept. She returns with a bottle of Mouton Fouetté, 1968. Well, sort of. Is that okay? Will you still pay me if I do one of those paintings for you? Well, let's see. Is it all right if I just look? Actually, I'd like to sell you something. Like the things in this bag, maybe? Bonjour, Monsieur Marchand. But you're a businessman. You must be willing to part with it for something. No thanks. Maybe later. Well, sure, if that's okay. You want me to paint the reproductions? Maybe. How? Okay. Au revoir. I don't think I need it. I don't cook that much. €1. I'll give you €2. Would €4 do the trick? €6 is more my speed. Would you take €1 for it? Would you take €4 instead? I'd rather pay you €8. I'll give you €11. No, thank you. I'll give you €1 for it. I think it's only worth €2. How about €4? Would you take €6 for it? Really? How much do you want for it? On second thought, it kind of creeps me out. I'll give you €1 for it. How about if I pay €5? Would you take half that? €10? I'm willing to pay €15 for it. No thanks. I think €1 is a fair price. €31, that's all I'll pay. I couldn't possibly pay more than €63. Too rich for my blood. How about €94 instead? What do you want for this book? What's in here? Could you tell me how much this is again? Is this pie tin very expensive? What's the price again? Is there something special about this light bulb? How much is this? What's this book about? What is this thing? What did you say I had to do to get this thing? That looks just like the picture that was in Noisette's code book. How much is this? How much will this set me back? Is this parrot very expensive? How much do you want for this wetsuit? A wetsuit. Au revoir. Maybe. Au revoir. I may just do that. Goodbye. I don't need a centerpiece right now. Would you give it to me for €1? I think it's worth more like €2. I'll give you €4 for it. Make that €6 and you've got a deal. I don't think I want Fifi after all. I like my friends to be unstuffed, so I pass. I'll give you €1 for it and that's all. Would you take €3 instead? I think Fifi's worth more like €6. €9 sounds about right to me. No sale. I'm not interested. It's not that nice a shade. I'll pay €1. I'll give you €3. Would you take €5 for it? What if I offered you €8 for it? I'm not interested. I'm not really into gardening. €1. How about I give you €6 for it? €13 is more my speed. I think €19 would be more appropriate. I don't think so. I think €1 is a fair price. I'd rather buy it for €9. €18 is more my speed. I'll give you €26 for it. I don't want them after all. I think I'll pass. I'll give you €1 for them. Too much. €4 is more like it. Would €8 be okay? How about €11? I'll take them. Actually, I don't see anything I really like. No, thank you. An orange train? I think €1 is all it's worth. I'll give you €4 for it. What would you say to €8? I'd rather give you €11 for it. I don't think I want it after all. It's basically a piece of stone. I'll give you €1 for it. I don't think I want it after all. A spoon is a spoon. I'll give you €1 for it. Would you take €3 instead? I'll give you half that, say €6. Make that €9 and you've got a deal. I'll take it. The truth is, I don't have enough money to buy anything. How much is this thing? How much are you selling this for? How much did you say Fifi was? Where did this come from? What does this cost again? Anything special about this stuffed animal? How much did you say this book was? I might want this book on gardening. You said the price of this is what? You're selling a wheel from a kiddie car? What is the cost of these rings? How much are you selling the green rings for? The orange locomotive is how much? What do you want for this train engine? How much do you want for this spoon? This spoon looks familiar. On second thought, never mind. Deal. Sure. Well, actually, I have a job here in Paris, but it's only temporary, so I guess I'm kind of a tourist. Okay, let's see what you got. Wow, you sure do. That's right, I'm back. I'd like to sell the stuff I have in this bag. Would you be interested? Parlez-vous anglais? I will. Au revoir. No, thank you. It's basically a piece of wood. Would you take €1 for it? Would you take €3 instead? I'd rather pay you €7. I'll give you €10. I'll pass. I'll give you €1 for it. I think it's only worth €2. How about €3? Would you take €5 for it? On second thought, I don't need a hat. I could pay you €1. Would you take €15 instead? I'd be willing to pay more like €30. Whoa, that's pretty steep. How about €45? Actually, I don't have time to read right now. I'll give you €1 for it. How about if I pay €6? Would you take half that, €12? I'm willing to pay €17 for it. No thanks. I think €1 is a fair price. €18, that's all I'll pay. For one sprig of mint? €25 tops. Would you take €36 for it instead? What did you say you'd sell this steak for? How much are you asking for this steak? How much do you want for the string? Is this just regular string? How much is this again? Where'd you get the cowboy hat? How much did you say this book was? Is this Ichido book any good? You want how much for the mint? Is this mint? Sounds good. Au revoir. I'll remember that. This is your fault, you know. Every time I walk in here now, I get hungry. You got me hooked on the food here. The food here really is good. Thank you. We'll talk again later, okay? Thank you for talking to me. I'd better get going. It was a pleasure talking to you. On second thought, I don't think I'll order after all. Okay by me. Oh, I changed my mind. No problem. In that case, never mind. That's fine. Do you think I could order something? I think I'll save the mint for later. As we say in the U.S., You're right. The food here is good. I'm glad I ordered that. It was great. Magnifique. That was wonderful. I'm afraid I don't have enough money. Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, boy. I need to take that mint so I can make those cookies for JJ. Yum. These things aren't bad. If you say so. Uh-oh. This looks like... yum! Oh, but I'm really not hungry. Has she done modeling for any other designers in Paris? How well does she get along with Minette? JJ! No, I mean JJ. But what about JJ Ling? Yes, in fact, they came straight from Dieter von Schwesterkrank's darkroom. I printed them up myself.
You are quite doué as a photo developer. Bravo for you, Nancy Drew.
What's a fitting model? I have no desire to design wild and crazy dresses, if that's what you mean. Would it be bad if I said yes? Couture? No, she didn't. Minette tricked her? Yes. Terrible thing, being tricked like that. I'm staying with JJ Ling, the model. Do you know her? How can I contact this Hugo Butterly person? Do you have a real office somewhere? Do you know of anyone else with a grudge against Minette? Has it ever gone beyond words? If you had to name Minette's worst enemy, who would that be? Do you have proof? Isn't Minette a little young to be undergoing plastic surgery? Do you have any idea why Minette wears that mask? I changed my mind. Nothing for me, thank you. How about the steak haché et pommes frites? I'd like the steak haché et pommes frites. I'd like the steak haché et pommes frites. Please bring me the steak haché et pommes frites. I think I'd like the steak haché et pommes frites. I'll have the cannelle, s'il vous plaît. May I please have the cannelle? May I please have the cannelle? May I please have the cannelle? The cannelle sound good, I guess. The cassoulet, thank you. How about the cassoulet? How about the cassoulet? The cassoulet, s'il vous plaît. I think I'll have the cassoulet. May I please have the crème de glace? I think I'll have the crème de glace. I think I'll have the crème de glace. I would like the crème de glace. The crème de glace, please. The cuisse de grenouille sounds great.
You lose.
The cuisse de grenouille. I think I'll try the cuisse de grenouille. May I please have the cuisse de grenouille? I would like the croque-monsieur. The croque-monsieur sounds good. The croque-monsieur sounds good. Let's see. The croque-monsieur, please. I'd like the croque-monsieur. Well, in that case, thank you. Merci. It sounds like you don't like him. He seemed very nice. Here, I'm supposed to give these photos to you. They came straight from Dieter von Schwesterkrank's darkroom. I printed them up myself.
You're quite doué as a photo developer. Bravo for you, Nancy Drew.
Huh? Oh, Heather McKay. No, Heather still works for Minette. I'm kind of working for both of them. Elzer? I'm not sure what you mean. Drew. Nancy Drew. I've just started working for Minette as an assistant. Traquenard. Jean-Michel Traquenard. I'm sorry to bother you, but are you Jean-Michel Traquenard? Excusez-moi, mais êtes-vous Monsieur Traquenard? Guess I'll be running along. I'll be back in a bit. I'll let you get back to your cookie dough. See you later.
Too bad. Just checking. Well, unless you want Minette to throw a major hissy fit the next time she sees you, I suggest you get cooking. Wrong again. Bingo! Nice going. Because of you, Minette is about to become a very happy camper. Wrong. Unless you want Minette to throw a major hissy fit the next time she sees you, I suggest you try again.
Well, their edges curl upwards? Excuse me? I have no idea. They're real thick. They're all lumpy. They're very round. Well, describe them? No, they sure are. Hello? Just go, please. I never lie. Ask anyone. I did it. Look, go to the studio. I'll finish those for you, okay? I'll do a great job, I promise. But if I go back there without you, Minette'll fire me. You have to. Minette is freaking out. Minette needs you at her studio. In fact, she's been screaming for you, literally. Heather wants me to pick up an envelope from you. But that isn't what you are, JJ. You're smart. You'll make it. I can see you going to Harvard, but MIT? Are you guilty? That's the question. Why don't you just be honest and tell me why you have those books? Yeah, I think I do. No. Are they your books or someone else's? Someone wired some explosives to the door to Minette's studio. Why do you have all those books over there on electrical engineering? Maybe later. Okay. Think we could play another game of hangman? No, I don't think so. What are the rules again? That'd be great. Nobody can steal your identity. You're too famous. This guy wouldn't do that. I just talked to this huge fan of yours. He'd really like your autograph. How about another game of hangman? Not really. Yep, I sure do. Let's play hangman. No thanks. Sure. On second thought, maybe some other time. Ready. Nice try, JJ. You know what? I don't think I do. Well, I guess there's a snake in his studio. He has a pet boa constrictor? I did it! Was he angry? Do you know why she broke it off? Is he the only person you can think of? Dieter von Schwesterkrank? Can you think of anyone who might be out to get Minette? Not really, no. Actually, no, I don't. Of course I do. Oh, come on. Did you really? Is it true your agent tricked you into working for Minette? Was there anything you could do about it? So you're sorry you signed the contract? Is it true you were tricked into working for Minette? Does anyone else live here? Why does Minette want you to be a size 12? What's a fitting model? You're not making them on my account, are you? I love chocolate chip cookies. You were pretty believable. Doesn't that make people kind of mad? Actually, no. Of course I do. It showed up 5 years later. Oh my gosh, really? No, actually, I don't. Hangman? Well, yeah, sure. Does this happen a lot? Is she all right? Oh yeah, the potted plant. I get your point. I almost forgot. Here's that envelope I picked up from JJ. I almost forgot. Thanks for your help. Talk to you later. I'll let you get back to work. Well, I'll see you later. Huh? Here you go. What's it for, anyway? Ah, inspiration for what? She gets inspired by paint? Oh yeah, the potted plant. I get your point. And she just happened to have a can of paint in her office? You didn't ask her about it? What's with all the red paint that's splattered on the wall in Minette's studio? Why isn't JJ answering her phone? Say no more. I'll go get her. Not real good. Not too bad. Minette is so into that online game, she won't even talk to me. I didn't mean for you to get fired. You're the one that sent that letter, not me. Heather? I'm gonna have to think about it. I'll see you later. Do you have any idea who sent her those other letters? The way she made you suffer when she started going out with Dieter. What I did is nothing compared to what you did. That's the real reason you didn't want me looking in there, isn't it? Then you did write it. The letters on it match the memo you sent Minette about fonts. I saw the memo you sent Minette about fonts. The letters on it match the letters on one of the threats I found in her dodo box. I think you wrote at least one of them. Why did you write Minette that threatening letter? Why am I delivering photos to somebody in a cafe? Who is Jean-Mi? Why is that? Never mind. Oh no, that's okay. I'll do it. Finding his studio will help me get more familiar with Paris. In fact, why don't I run your errand too? Who is Dieter von Schwesterkrank? How do you open this thing? But okay. Should I give this letter to Minette? May I keep this letter? Minette's gotten other letters like this, and she's never bothered to explain why. You didn't know she was going to do that? Why does Minette wear that mask? It makes her seem very eccentric. And has it? Has this windmill or moulin always been a fashion design studio? I'd love to see some of the things you've designed. When do you think you'll be ready to go off on your own? Do you work for Minette because you want to be a fashion designer too? What do you mean by couture? How come Minette has fallen so far behind in her work? Couture projects? Why is she so far behind? On how closely I'm going to have to be working with Minette. Kidding. That depends. You bet. Dieter's very busy. He says if I want prints, I have to make them. I'm working on it. Making prints sounds hard. Making prints is hard. Not yet. Can I ask you a question first? Okay. You've been very helpful. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate your help. How likely is it that Noisette used an M380 decoder? What is the Enigma machine? Do you think Noisette ever used the M380? The famous what? Do you know anything about the M380 decoder? When you said Noisette was an encoder for the resistance, what exactly did she do? What did you mean when you said Noisette was tried as a collaborator? I'll call you. Let's just say I have the feeling it's eventually going to lead to the artwork that Noisette hid. It has to do with this card she gave to Hans von Schwesterkrank and this grid I found in a passageway near where he used to live. It's a long story, but when you put them together using red left green, you get a message. I think I know what Noisette meant by red left green. What's the story behind the Cross of Lorraine? After the war, when she was the director of public works, what kind of things did Noisette do? What else can you tell me about the German occupation of Paris? What was the French resistance? No, but I'll keep that in mind and let you know if I see something. Was he by any chance related to Dieter von Schwesterkrank, the fashion photographer? What happened to him? You're kidding me. Where did the accusation that she was a collaborator with the enemy come from? What did she do during the war? Were they recovered after the war? That sounds pretty heroic to me. But if you don't mind, could I ask you a couple of questions about Noisette Tournade? You mentioned hidden plunder in your letter to Minette. What did you mean? How long did she live in the Moulin, where Minette now has her studio? I'd like to, but I'm afraid she's still too busy to talk to you. I'm sorry, but Heather... Someone named Lynn from UC Kearns is following up on a letter about Noisette Tournade. One moment, please. Noisette Tournade? Bonjour, Minette's House of Design. Hi, Nancy Drew again. Hi, this is Nancy Drew again. I called you before? Hello, my name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from Paris. Actually, I talked to you earlier when you tried to call Minette. I used the M380 decoder to decode that message, but all I got is another message in French. Now what? I found a picture of those stones in Minette's studio before someone splashed paint on them, but I think it was cropped. How can I get a look at the original? I have no idea what position those 3 movable dials on the M380 decoder are supposed to be in. A little help, please? Yep, 3 of them. As a matter of fact, there is. In French, of course. I managed to get my hands on a decoder, like the one in Noisette's codebook. But when it comes to what to do with it, I'm kind of lost. Would you happen to know what I'm supposed to do with that round thingamajig I found at the end of those flooded tunnels? Do you have any idea how that message I saw on the wall on the other side of the flooded tunnels relates to that number lock it's next to? What's the trick to getting through all those underwater tunnels and chambers? I can't hold my breath that long. To get through that flooded tunnel Zoo told me about, I'm going to need a wetsuit. But that's the one item of clothing Jing Jing doesn't seem to have. Where can I get one? How can I keep the French police from busting me when they find me in the tunnels? Well, it is kind of gross if you think about it. Do you have any idea where I can get a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968, whatever that is? Any idea where I can find a machine like the one featured in that codebook of noisettes that I found? The passageway leading from Dieter's studio dead ends at a wall that has this French inscription, a row of letters, and some kind of lock on it. Any suggestions? I found these symbols hidden away on the statue with the cross of Lorraine on top, but I'm not sure what they mean. Any ideas? No. I need to turn the vanes on this windmill statue in the park, but every time I do, this darn squirrel jumps on the handle and messes everything up. How can I make it stop? When I decoded that card with the eyes on it, the message said Sue Lorraine 4154, but unfortunately I have no idea what that means. I'm pretty sure that card with all the eyes on it, combined with that grill I found in the passageway, contains a message, but I don't know how to decode it. Any idea what the deal is with that card with all the eyes on it that Dieter gave me? Zoo won't tell me about that symbol I saw in the passageway unless I get JJ to write Zoo my love Jing, but she refuses to cooperate. Now what do? I saw this strange symbol on the wall in the underground passageway leading from Dieter's place. How can I find out what it means? Any trick to solving the puzzle that appears when I use the little clock to open the panel in the wall at Dieter's place? I told Dieter I'd take these pictures for him, but the list of the things I'm supposed to take pictures of is in French, and he's too busy to translate it for me, so I'm kind of stuck. Any ideas as to how to open Minette's dodo box? Do either of you guys know how to use molasses to make a substitution for brown sugar? I promised JJ I'd make these cookies for her, only it turns out I need a sprig of mint. Any ideas where I might get one? Heather wants me to design some outfits for Prudence Rutherford, but I'm not sure how to go about it. Any suggestions? Dieter doesn't have time to make the prints I'm supposed to pick up, so I said I'd do it. Only I don't know how to. I have to fix this plotter machine thing that's in the office, and I'm not sure how to do it. Any advice when it comes to getting the highest score on that online computer game? I need to know Minette's password for that online computer game she's playing. Any idea what Minette's login is for the online computer game she's playing? I'm supposed to go to the park and get more stuff from Minette, but I'm not at all sure what she wants. Minette wants me to make a cup of her special tea, but I'm not sure how to go about it. Talk to you soon. Merci, that should do it. Thanks. It's a compliment. See ya. You guys are magnifique. The Hardy Boys come through again. I will. Bye. I knew you guys could help. I'll remember that. Bye. Thanks, guys. You've helped a lot. Au revoir. I'll check back with you later. That's it for now. I'll let you go. Monsieur Traquenard. Right? Well, yeah, I kinda do. I mean, if he was gonna lie, he could have done better than that. They call it the Latin Quarter because it's where the Sorbonne University is. And until 1793, Latin was the area's official language. I could use a hint. Would you guys mind giving me a hint about something? I'm just wondering what, if anything, all this has to do with Minette and her strange behavior. Yeah, that could be. Right. Yes, both of the tunnels I've explored end at a wall marked by a symbol that looks like a hazelnut, which, in French, is a noisette. Tell me about it. There were all these rooms just filled with bones piled all the way to the ceiling. Yep. In my search for that symbol I told you about, I went into the catacombs through an entrance no one knows about. Dropped the autograph off for him where he told me, in a skull that's down in the catacombs. A fake skull. At least he said it was fake. Yeah, I'm kinda glad I didn't have to deliver it to him in person. In a skull that was by this pile of bones from an ancient cemetery. A fake skull, or so he said. Think of some way to get her autograph without her knowing it? Zoo my love Jing. That's specific. No, what's pretty creepy is where he wants me to drop off JJ's autograph. In a skull. A fake skull. Or so he says. Getting what Zoo wanted from JJ took some doing, so he better be on the up and up, that's all I can say. Creepy? No. Creepy is where Zoo had me leave JJ's autograph. I guess. This Zoo guy seemed to recognize the symbol when I described it, but he wouldn't tell me anything about it unless I got him JJ's autograph. Apparently, he's her biggest fan. Unfortunately, JJ doesn't give out autographs. Actually, he doesn't just want JJ's autograph. He wants her to write something very specific. This guy explores all the parts of the catacombs the public isn't allowed to visit. I guess. This zoo guy seemed to recognize the symbol when I described it, but he won't tell me anything about it unless I get him JJ's autograph. Apparently, he's her biggest fan. I saw this strange symbol in that tunnel I told you about before, so I called this guy named Zoo, who's supposed to be an expert on Paris's catacombs. Well, he says he was, but he's not anymore. Not since he fell in love with Minette. Yep. And did I mention that up until recently he was dating Minette? I haven't asked him yet, but I do know that he's been carrying around the woman's obituary. And did I mention that up until recently he was dating Minette? And I discovered that this woman, Noisette Tournade, is rumored to have hidden away valuable works of art during World War II, art that remains lost to this day. She passed away not too long ago. I found out that Dieter von Schwesterkrank's great-uncle was the boyfriend of the woman who used to live in the old windmill that Minette's studio is now in. Find out more about his great-uncle. Right, probably a lot more than he's saying. Nothing. Dieter. He's a fashion photographer. His great-uncle gave him a key that ultimately opened the door. It dead ends at a wall that has some kind of lock on it. There's a hidden door in Dieter von Schwesterkrank's place that leads to a tunnel. Joe. Yeah? She said she's been studying them because she's going to try to get into MIT. That's what I wondered. So I asked her. Guess the only way to know for sure is to ask her. Probably. Not that I know of. Someone has been sending Minette threatening letters, though. Well, I'm pretty sure she sent Minette at least one threatening letter. I haven't gotten around to asking her about it. Well, I know she sent Minette a threatening letter, although when I confronted her about it, she said it was harmless, that she was just blowing off steam. She got so ticked off at Minette one day that she sent her an anonymous threatening letter. I told Minette about it and she canned her. Of course, that's because I got her fired. Well, I did find several books on electrical engineering hidden away in J.J. Ling's apartment. Well, Minette's assistant, Heather McKay, wasn't anywhere around when I discovered it. No, thanks to me. Someone attached an explosive device to the door to Minette's studio. She's so casual and down-to-earth, it's hard to believe she's a fashion model. She also loves to make cookies. She loves to play it. No matter what she's doing, if you say you'll play, she'll drop everything and play it with you. I can't figure out why she thinks it's so fun. JJ has this weird thing about the game Hangman. Plus, their inventory is always changing, so people keep going back to them just to see what new stuff they have. To me, it all looked like junk, but Minette uses stuff she buys there to stimulate her artistic sinews. Everything imaginable. It's like a garage sale, only in a park. Parts of Paris are real quaint, like you can buy stuff from these vendors in the park, but if you want to get a good deal, you have to haggle with them. Totally. Huge. I'm not sure. Only about a year or so. It used to be some little old lady's home, among other things. Only about a year or so. Long enough for her to throw paint all over the wall in a fit of anger. And like the Moulin Rouge, Minette's windmill is in the section of Paris called Montmartre. The outer office looks like any other modern office, but Minette's studio, which is inside the Moulin itself, is very old and funky. Exactly. Right. It's in an old moulin. That's French for windmill. Minette's studio is something else. Maybe later, yeah. Joe, she's busy, and I really don't know her that well. I can't put her on, Joe. I'm not in her apartment. I'm in the office. I can't put her on, Joe. She's not here. Sorry. Yep. Jing, jing, ling. I didn't tell you who my roommate is, did I? Who my roommate is? It's great. It's in the Latin Quarter. I didn't tell you guys, did I? No, I'm still working up the courage. She thinks she is, I can tell you that. I don't know. When it comes to fashion, I have a lot to learn. I guess so. She's in the process of designing a dress for the First Lady. Very temperamental. It's like working around dynamite. One false move and she goes off. And I mean she goes off. I finally met Minette. Exactly. Actually, I can't really say right now. It's in the section of Paris called Montmartre. The outer office looks like any other modern office. I haven't been inside Minette's studio yet, but it's inside the Moulin itself, so it's probably very old and funky looking. Oh yeah. It's in the section of Paris called Montmartre. The outer office looks like any other modern office, but Minette's studio, which is inside the Moulin itself, is very old and funky. I'm in the apartment Amy Grunhild arranged for me. In fact, did I tell you who my roommate is? Right. Right now I'm in the Latin Quarter. In the old windmill that houses Minette's office and studio. I'm calling you from the apartment where I'll be living while I'm here. I'm calling you from my new place of employment. Well, I made it to Paris, okay? Break from what? Hi, Frank. Whoa, you sound out of breath. Everything's great. I am in France. Hey, Joe. Well, yes, she is, but... Hi, Frank. It's Nancy. Is Joe there, too? Hey, Joe. It's Nancy. That's not right. Oh! Hello? Brown sugar. Au revoir. It was fun talking to you. I'd better go. Thanks for your help. That's all right. Thank you anyway. I'd love to. Thank you. What do you know about Noisette Tornade? They're all right there in your camera. But you found it, right? You mean there is a snake in here somewhere? Is it true that you keep a pet boa constrictor in here? So she knows nothing about the connection between Noisette and your great-uncle? Then why aren't you still dating her? I heard that she dumped you. You still feel that way? Even after she broke up with you like that? Have you shown this to anyone else? Finding that lost artwork is why you started going out with Minette, isn't it? I can? What is it? And 3, she was romantically involved with a German soldier named Hans von Schwesterkrank. 2, during World War II, she was rumored to have hidden several valuable works of art from the Germans somewhere in Paris. I know 3 things, Mr. von Schwesterkrank. 1. Noisette Tornade, whose obituary you were carrying until it fell out of your pocket in the park. Noisette used to own the old windmill Minette now owns. How well do you know J.J. Ling? No, I'm just curious. Should I be? Have you tried communicating with her anonymously? Maybe you should write her a letter. You've had no contact at all with Minette since she broke it off? Why do I get the feeling you're not happy about that? Because... Were you angry when she broke it off? Why did you two break up, if you don't mind my asking? But you're not dating her now? I hear that you used to date Minette. Do a lot of women have crushes on you? Does Heather know that you know? What's your opinion of Minette's assistant, Heather McKay? Does Jean-Mi dislike you as much as you seem to dislike him? Why does Jean-Mi need those prints? She has a crush on you? Heather didn't seem to like him very much either. What kind of dealings have you had with him? What's he going to do with them? Do you know? I've met him. He seemed okay. It sounds like you don't like him. It's about something else. No. Sure. You're not really going to make me go back to Minette and tell her that, are you? But I need to deliver them to that fashion editor, Jean-Michel Traquenard, today. No, my name's Nancy Drew. Minette sent me here to pick up some fabric photos. Actually, I'm looking for Dieter von Schwesterkrank. Well, you got the part about being an American right. I did it! You sound as if you didn't think I could do it. But I did. I sure did. I have a question. No, not yet. Which one do I want to paint? Decisions. Am I in the mood for Mona Lisa or sunflowers? Let's see. Which one do I want to paint this time? Do I want to pretend I'm Da Vinci or Van Gogh? First thing I should do is get out that mint and chop it up. Bonjour, madame. Glad I'm not a fly. Wonder if his name is Boris. Whoa, that's a biggie. If you don't mind. Of course. Mais oui. Definitely. Sure thing. Yes, please. You bet. I think I'm all through. How do you like this one? Monsieur, what do you think? Does this look all right? I'm all done. Is this okay? Monsieur, how's this? I feel like painting. Could I paint some more? I wouldn't mind painting another picture or 2. Any chance I can earn some more money? Do you still need someone to paint pictures for you? I'd like to paint some more, if that's okay. May I do another painting? Not exactly my style, but cool. Cool. Taxi! I'm going to have to withdraw my offer. Not enough money. Oh, forget it. I don't have enough money. Oops, I'm going to have to pass. Running low on money. Sorry, I can't pay you that much after all. Oh, forget my offer. I'm kind of short on cash. Oops, I don't have enough money to pay you that. I take that back. I don't have that many euros. I need to put something here to scare that squirrel away. Noisette Tornade. That's the woman who that historian was calling about. Why would Dieter be carrying this around? These doodles sure look familiar. Sonny June did them. He must have been Minette's last assistant. Wow, that guy gets around. These doodles sure look familiar. Sonny was here. Sonny June. That's why those doodles look familiar. Sonny June did them. He must have been Minette's last assistant. Wow, that guy gets around. Sonny was here. Empty. Okay, I think I'm ready. If I make a mistake and need to throw out an herb that I chose, or the tea itself, all I have to do is click on the sink. Then when I'm done, I should click on the teapot so I can pour the tea into a cup, into this pot of boiling water. Then I should put whichever herbs the instructions say I need. Let's see, to make Minette her tea, the first thing I should do is read these instructions. Maybe I'll try my hand at designing something else. I should wait until Heather sends these off to Prudence.
I can't get on. I'm trapped. Stop.
French again. French numbers. 2, 1, 5, 7. These must have fallen out of his pocket. Looks like he left something on the bench. I think I'll go to work on those prints now. Actually, I'd better get to work on those prints. I'll head over to her apartment and see what the problem is. Wow, that is one big list. Oh no! I think I blew it. I don't need to buy those again. I don't need to buy that again. I already bought that. I should have gotten the phone. This is what I get for not answering the phone. Guess I should have answered the phone. Guess I better answer the phone. I'd better get that. I really should answer that phone. Maybe I'll call back later. A rat. This place is probably crawling with them. Ah! A rat! No answer. Great, because it just so happens that I have a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968 right here. Mouton Fouetté 1968. Mouton Fouetté 1968. Yes! Now I can go back to that vendor and trade this for that decoder. Let's take a good look at what I found down there. This can wait. I'll work on this later. I don't feel like doing this now. I can't leave while that guy's still on hold. I better get that guy off of hold. I've still got that guy on hold. I fought imaginary elves that were stronger than you. Nope. Arm's starting to feel a little weak. You're starting to look a little tired there. I could have been a contender. I could have been a contender. Nope. You got a mean right or left hook on you. Hope you're a good loser, because you are going down. Your goose is cooked. Might as well give up, Minette. I think I'll take these with me. That doesn't look right. I'll put it back the way it was. Those letters remind me of the ones on the M380 decoder. XIVIII. I'm running out of air. A letter. Wonder where that goes. If I run out of air, I'm done for. If I were an air pocket, where would I be? I should probably start looking for an air pocket. I'm real close to running out of air. I can only hold my breath for a few more seconds. I need to find an air pocket fast. I can't hold my breath for much longer. Uh-oh, the door locked behind me, and nobody knows I'm down here. Not good. I'll bet I'm supposed to put these colors in a certain order. Nuts, it must be on a timer. Oh shoot, that's not good. Too late. Well, that's that. All 3 outfits are ready for you to send to Prudence. Pick up envelope from J.J. Ling, pick up fabric photos from Dieter von Schwesterkrank, deliver photos to Jean-Michel Traquenard, fix plotter, do whatever Minette tells you to do, and do it fast. That's not done. Still need to do that. Can't check that off yet. Oops, haven't done that. C'est fini. Check. That's finished. Been there, done that. Just look down, see your hands, and click on the letter you want to type. Looks like I should type a message using my own keyboard. Rouge, blanc, rouge, bleu, rouge. Looks like French to me. Those dials remind me of the stone discs in Minette's studio, the ones she got paint all over. Wow! So that's what Noisette stole during the war. Stained glass. Minette named her favorite dress form Carol. Okay. You can open the door now, Minette. Hey! Minette! Open the door! Great. Now I'm getting threatening letters. I know where you have been, and I can guess where you are going. So watch your back. One bad deed deserves another. I'm through making tea, hopefully for good. When it comes to making tea, been there, done that. I already made Minette her tea. I don't think that's right. Back to the drawing board. I'm going to dump this and try again. I better start over. Uh-oh. Do-over. Nothing. I wonder if I did something in the wrong order. Oh, I must have messed something up. Voila! And now the fixer. Next stop, stop bath. Time for a dip in the developing fluid. And now I turn on the enlarger and expose the paper. I'd better turn off the lights. Okay, I've got a negative in the enlarger. Let's see. First, I need to put a negative in the enlarger. Looks like the paper is already mounted on the enlarger. That helps. Ah, the all-important light switch. The negative I want to make a print from goes here. These must be the negatives. I turn the enlarger on and off here. It's late. I can do this tomorrow. It's too late to go anywhere now. It'll be dark in a few minutes. I'm going to head back to Jing Jing's. If I had a stake and tied some string to it and hung something that moved and made noise from the string, maybe that squirrel would stay away. I already have one of those. Guess I'd better use that phone card Dad gave me. Whoa, sounds like that did something. The dials on this thing move. I'd better wait until Manette's not here before I mess with this. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, a rough translation would be, in Europe, near the new bridge, Snow White lives in a red castle. I have no idea what this is, but after everything I went through to get here, I'm taking it. Yuck! Ew! The hazelnut symbol. This must have been Noisette's. Wonder what that thing is. YVNJ. Wonder if those letters are some kind of code. The year when our despair ended. The year when my despair began. Sounds like that squirrel doesn't like people messing with his statue. I'll bet those numbers are movable. To the memory of the French fighters. No way am I going in there without a flashlight. Time to get out my flashlight. It's pitch black in there. I'm going to need a flashlight. One of the furry little creatures around here must have made off with them. One of the furry little creatures around here must have made off with it. Hey, my book on codes is missing. Hey, my book on Ichido is missing. Hey, my dictionary is missing. Hey, my stuffed parrot is missing. Hey, my light bulb is missing. Hey, my plastic shark is missing. Hey, my cowboy hat is missing. Hey, my gloves are missing. One of the furry little creatures around here must have made off with them. Oof, this place is crawling with four-legged vermin. Hope they leave my stuff alone. I can't leave until I get this wetsuit off. I can't go anywhere. I've still got this wetsuit on. I'd better get out of this wetsuit before I head back. I'm freezing. I can't wait to get out of this wetsuit and into my clothes. Well, it's time to put on the wetsuit. Hope it's more comfortable than it looks. Zoo was right. I'm going to need a wetsuit. What's this? I can't buy a ticket until I have 5 euros. Shoot, I don't have enough money to get in. Uh-oh, I don't have 5 euros. I can't get in. Magdalene. This must be the place Zoo was talking about. And there's a skull. Un, s'il vous plaît. Une entrée. Une entrée, s'il vous plaît. Whoa! 2 down, 1 to go. 1 down, 2 to go. I did it over. Wanna see? I'm done. What do you think? Oh, stop that, you little pest. That little rodent messed everything up again. Darn you. Now quit that. Hey, what's going on? Shoot, that pesky squirrel must have jumped on the handle and moved the windmill. What was that? They go together. The position of certain eyes must spell something out. But which eyes? Wonder what this is. Uh-oh. Dad made me promise not to go anywhere by myself after dark. This'll have to wait until tomorrow. Uh-oh. 1 chemical plus another chemical equals... That can't be good. Shoot. Oh dear. Oops. Maybe I should have kept the lights off the whole time. Might as well leave that there. It's blank. I can't take that until I expose it to an image. Can't take that yet. There's nothing on it. What was that? It felt like something slithered across my feet. I'm getting there. Finished another one. 1 down, 3 to go. There. all done. I wonder if I did something in the wrong order. I probably didn't do the fixer part right. Did I forget to put it in the stop bath? Something tells me I didn't have it in the developing fluid for the right amount of time. I'll bet I didn't use the enlarger correctly. Nothing. I must have done something wrong. Oh no, I wrecked it. Shoot, I must have made a mistake. Nuts, it didn't turn out. Before I turn this on, I need to figure out which negative I want to enlarge. I need to put a negative in it before I turn it on. I can't turn it on yet. I don't have anything to enlarge. No use turning on the enlarger unless I put a negative in it. Beautiful. Not very interesting, but beautiful. Looks like fabric to me. It's a picture of fabric, all right. I'll dry the print I just made and toss the old one. First thing I need to do is turn out the light. There's that hazelnut symbol again. I'll bet this book belonged to Noisette Tornade. Looks like some kind of code. Sue Lorraine 4154. Whoa, that's a lot of bones. A little more and I'll be done. Still a few empty spots. I'm not quite done yet. Very nice. Not bad if I do say so myself. That looks pretty good. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's pitch black in here. With all those chemicals around, I'm going to have to be real careful. Whoa, look at all those bottles of chemicals. One false move and boom. Enlarger, negatives, developer, stop bath, fixer. May I take this binder into the dark room with me? Well, actually, I'm getting there. Yes, I did it right. He liked it. I think that was French for you blew it. He does not sound too happy with me. Uh-oh, I must have done it wrong. Sounds like I messed up. Too soon for that. I haven't made anything yet. I think I better make something first. I'd better not ring for the waiter until I actually make something. That doesn't look right. Do-overs. Think I'll pitch this one and start over. I never thought I could get sick of ice cream, but I am getting sick of ice cream. Next up, a tropical. One mystique coming up, a Lulu. Now they want a l'enfer. Here comes a fantaisie. Next is a corbeau. Now I have to make an exois. The first one I have to make is a tropical. The first one I have to make is a mystique. The first one I have to make is a Lulu. The first one I have to make is a l'enfer. The first one I have to make is a fantaisie. The first one I have to make is a corbeau. The first one I have to make is an exois and whipped cream. Berries, tapioca balls, bananas, caramel ice cream, strawberry ice cream, vanilla ice cream. Okay, looks like I've got chocolate ice cream. Okay, looks like I've got chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream, strawberry ice cream, caramel ice cream, bananas, tapioca balls, berries, and whipped cream. Darn, one layer too many. Looks like I overdid it. Oops, guess I overloaded it. Oh, rats, I put in too much. Pictures of what all the different kinds of parfaits are supposed to look like. Great! What have we here? What's up with this? There, I'll just put them in an envelope and I'll be all set. This must be where I'm supposed to leave the autograph for Zoo. I wonder what that symbol means. There, all done. I'm done. I won't bother you anymore, I promise. I'm done. I won't bother you anymore, I promise. I better get rid of this thing before she sees it and really freaks. There. No, Manette, please, stay there. Don't open the door. No, don't come out. I'm just about done. I'm sorry. I'm almost done, really. I'm tidying up. You just keep working. Nothing. Just stay in there. Everything's fine. I've got to figure out how to disarm this thing before she opens the door. Looks like this thing is set to go off if she opens the door. Nothing. Everything's fine. You just stay in there and keep working. Uh-oh. It's just me, Nancy. It's some kind of booby trap. What is that? Well, the first thing I have to do is get some more mint. I'll just cool the cookies off on this rack and I'll be all done. Well, they smell pretty good. They look okay to me. Must be the mint that makes their edges turn up like that. Not ready for that yet. I need to follow the recipe. I don't have anything worth baking yet. I'll just chop up this mint. There, I'm ready to start cooking. I think I'll throw this batch out. Oops, wrong utensil. Well, here's some molasses. I think maybe I'd like to borrow your camera after all. Nice camera. Is it digital? Mr. von Schwesterkrank? Mr. von Schwesterkrank, could I ask you something? Mr. von Schwesterkrank, do you think you could translate this list for me? Oh no, the list is in French. Mr. von Schwesterkrank, It's Nancy Drew again. I really need to talk to you. I'll get right on it. Sure, but this is really important. Is there anything I can do to help you? Mr. von Schwesterkrank? Believe it or not, that key your uncle gave you opened up some kind of passageway. Is it okay if I see where it goes? Sounds like something just slid open. Oh my gosh, I just opened up some kind of passageway. I did it. Oh, what a horrible racket. Sounds like someone's in the dark room. What's behind the panel? You also dropped some kind of trinket. Looks like a miniature clock. Why were you carrying it around? When asked to pick a number between 1 and 10, if Minette chooses an odd number on the day the tea is to be consumed. If Minette has had a temper tantrum in the last 14 days, and if she declares that blue is her favorite color on the day... Minette, could you please pick a number between 1 and 10? Excuse me, Minette, but what's your favorite color? It's for Minette. A stuffed parrot? Oh, I still haven't bought that stuffed parrot. Shoot, I still have to go to the park and get that stuffed parrot for Heather. Minette's real name is Tammy Barnes? Pretty plain for a trendy fashion designer. No wonder she changed it. Dear Miss Minette, the books on the women of the French resistance, exploits of Noisette Tornade, because she owned the windmill which you now own. Oh, this is from that historian who called before. Maybe she can help me figure out why Dieter was carrying that obituary around. Now that I'm done, I should flip the plastic cover back down. First thing I need to do is flip up this plastic sheet. Are the designs I'm supposed to finish for Prudence Rutherford under here? Wonder what's under here. What's in this folder? Oh my gosh. I've got to get it out of here and take it to the police. Oh my gosh, it sounds like Minette made that dress for the First Lady to be some kind of bugging device. That voice, it's the one I heard on the phone. This fabric is so strange. It's soft and metallic all at the same time. Just curious. I was just looking. What kind of material is this? Interesting material. There, I did it! I wonder if Monsieur Traquenard still has the original. The stone discs in this picture could have something to do with the M380 decoder Noisette Tornade used. This picture looks like it was cropped. I wonder if the symbols on these discs have something to do with the dials on the M380 decoder that Noisette Tornade used. Looks like this picture was taken before Minette splashed paint on the wall over there. Looks like this picture was taken before someone splashed paint on the wall over there. Sorry. What happened to your wall? Wonder how all that red paint got there. You dropped an obituary about Noisette Tornade. Shall I leave it for you? I just wondered what you were doing in Square du Vert Galant Park. Nancy Drew, I just wanted to ask you some questions. Mr. von Schwesterkrank? Are you in there? Okay, guys, end of the line. You are out of here. I wonder if Dieter would like a little company. Better not. I would be so fired if I let you guys go in here. Sorry. I work in here too, so letting these things go would not be rude. Sorry guys, I live here too, so you're not going anywhere. I can't let them go in here. I could let these things go in here, but I won't. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What a nut job. Anything you say. 1, 2, 3. Minette, they're cockroaches. Yes. Positive. Yes, Minette. I don't know, 9? Yes, Minette. There, that has got to be the last bug. Oh, these guys are fast. Nuts, I was this close. Too slow. Missed it. Shoot, I missed. Say goodnight, Gracie. And another bug bites the dust. Yes! Playtime's over, little guy. Or girl. Gotcha. Ew! And I thought working for a fashion designer was going to be glamorous. If I were an insect, where would I hide? Come out, wherever you are. Here, Buggy, Buggy, Buggy. That must be the box they came in. Now what? It's an obituary. Something flew out of his pocket. If I disturb her again, I'm toast. But he's very insistent. Minette, you have a phone call. What's this? Sorry. Say no more. All done. That should do it. There. Your tea's waiting for you. I'm leaving your tea on the table. Your tea's done. I finished making your tea. I got the highest score. Or should I say Carol did. I'm in. Game on. All right. Yes. do you know what Minette's password is? Do you happen to know what Minette's login is? Minette? 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 Hello, Minette? Mint? Where am I supposed to get Mint? What did he run away for? That was weird. Hi. No, wait! Dieter! Dieter! That looks like Dieter. Wonder what he's doing. Hey, Dieter! There, I made the prints. Wait a minute. These letters are the same ones that I saw in that memo Heather sent to Minette, which means the person who sent this must have been Heather. Oh my gosh! The letters in these fonts look exactly like the ones that were used in one of those threatening notes Minette got, which means Heather must have sent it. The letters on this one look different than the letters on the others. Fonts. Somehow I don't see Minette getting real excited about fonts. X, W, T, S, R, Q, P, K, H, F, D, C, B, A. What are books doing in here? What in the world is JJ doing with books on electrical engineering? I wasn't even close. May I have that piece of paper? G, N, I, J, E, V, O, L, Y, M, U, Z. Hugo Butterly. So that's what Minette's arch rival looks like. Hugo with his pit bull Minette. Make the most of what little time you have left. Soon it will all be over. There's something on the floor here. Looks like someone slipped it under the door. Time to dig out the tank top, stock up on sunscreen, and slip on those sandals, because for my next adventure, I'm off to Hawaii, to the Big Island to be exact, where I'll be helping out this quirky entomologist. That's a bug scientist, by the way, who has just made a disturbing discovery. In fact, my working vacation quickly turns into a series of disturbing discoveries, including one that involves a legendary monster with a nasty temper and an appetite for revenge. So come with me to this island paradise and help me solve the mystery surrounding the creature of Kapu Cave. Until then, aloha. Great news, I think. See, Frank and Joe Hardy have invited me to help them solve a mystery. Only this mystery takes place on a train. But not just any train, a train that was found abandoned years ago in the middle of nowhere. All of its passengers had simply vanished. Some people say the train is jinxed. Others say it's haunted. I mean, it'll be fun to finally get to work alongside the Hardy boys, but I just hope the trip we're going on doesn't turn out to be, one way. Money well spent, I hope. Bye-bye, hard-earned cash. That's one less coin in my purse. No can do. I'm out of money. This'll have to wait until I get some more cash. Nuts, I don't have enough money. Rats. No, wait, I just wanna... Is that smelly cheese by any chance going to her? And you don't like her? I'm kind of a friend of Minette's. Well, it's obviously not who you think it is. My name's Nancy Drew. Mr. Butterly? Catch you later. You two have been a big help. Thanks. See ya. You two are wonderful. I knew I could count on you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right, thanks for your help. Au revoir. Excellent. You guys are the best. Talk to you later. Great. Thanks a lot, you two. Well, I'll let you guys go. That's it for now. Guess I should get back to work. I'd better go. I need a hint. Think you could give me a hint? Well, I just did. It's not like I was in a sewer or anything. Right. He's an expert on Paris's underground, especially those parts that no one is supposed to enter. Long story, but it was actually okay. I swam through some interesting stuff. I was looking for a symbol this guy named Zoo had seen down there. No, in one of the tunnels underneath the city. You'll never guess where I went skin diving. Believe me, he's got a mean streak in him a mile wide. Well, he's definitely capable of sending Minette those threats. I called Minette's rival, Hugo Butterly. I think it's possible. It seems that Minette's biggest rival is a fashion designer named Hugo Butterly. That's what he said. Dieter says that he's so smitten with Minette that he doesn't care about finding the artwork anymore. His great-uncle gave him this weird card that has all these eyes on one side of it and a drawing of a room on the other. Unfortunately, the uncle couldn't remember what any of it meant. Consequently, neither does Dieter. So he gave it to me to figure out. No. However, She was rumored to have been involved in the theft of artwork that has been missing since World War II. He started dating Minette because he thought having access to the windmill would help him find the artwork that Noisette allegedly helped steal during World War II. He started dating Minette because he thought having access to the windmill would help him find a cache of valuable artwork that's been missing since World War II. His great-uncle Hans was a wartime boyfriend of Noisette Tornade. That's the woman I told you about, the one who owned the moulin, the windmill, before Minette did. His great-uncle Hans was the wartime boyfriend of Noisette Tornade. That's the woman who owned the moulin, the windmill, before Minette did. It turns out that Dieter has a secret or two up his sleeve, especially when it comes to the old windmill that Minette's studio was in. I don't know. And a certain young German fashion photographer who used to date Minette has been carrying around the woman's obituary. Don't know that either. I have the number of someone in the States who's doing research on her. Maybe I'll give her a call. According to this historian in the States who's doing research on her, she lived there for some 50 years after the war, and she's rumored to have been involved in the theft of artwork that's been missing since the war. And, I don't know, but I can tell you that a certain young German fashion photographer who used to date Minette has been carrying around the woman's obituary. The windmill Minette works out of was once owned by a woman named Noisette Tornade, who used to be a resistance fighter during World War II. I guess. According to Heather, it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. She said she got so fed up with Minette one day that she did it to get back at her. She said she never intended to hurt her, physically at least. I have no idea. Guess I'm going to have to ask her. It turns out that one of the threatening letters Minette got was sent by none other than her own assistant, Heather McKay. Nope. Tell me about it. They got loose all over her office, and she made me find them and put them back in the box. Some unknown person sent Minette a box of live cockroaches. Not really, but his tone of voice, he just sounded like he was up to something nasty. The guy wouldn't give me his name, and he sounded very hostile, and he had a German accent. And, not long after that, some unknown person sent Minette a box of cockroaches. The guy wouldn't give me his name, and he sounded very hostile. And he had a German accent. I took this very strange phone call from Minette. At least I tried to. Well, yes. I told you guys before I left that I'd be rooming with Jing Ling, right? Maybe Heather puts up with her because she knows working as Minette's assistant will look good on her resume. Despite the way Minette treats her, Heather seems almost protective of her. Apparently, Minette has fired 3 other assistants in the past 5 months alone. You should see how cool, calm, and collected Minette's assistant Heather is, even when Minette is totally wigging out. Good questions, and there's only one way to answer them. Well, not in so many words. I've only seen one of the letters she's gotten, and it was just kind of vaguely threatening. The end is near, that sort of thing. Someone has been sending Minette threatening letters. Funny, like something's going on that I should probably know about. No. Mostly he's pretty arrogant. Anyway, when it comes to the Paris fashion scene, this Traquenard guy pretty much knows everything and everyone. Well, that's the one he writes for. Do you ever read Glam Glam? That's right, Bess. How'd you know? I had to deliver some prints to this fashion editor named Jean-Michel Traquenard. I got the feeling that he didn't know. I also got the feeling that he still cares for Minette. A lot. She's just so darn weird, it's hard to understand what he sees in her. Well, it's good for Dieter's ego, I'm sure, but if it's true, it's bad for Heather. He couldn't care less about her. Heather, that's Minette's assistant. She got this funny look on her face when I asked her about him. Knowing how clued in you two are to the world of high fashion, I just thought I'd check to see what you knew about him. I had to make some prints for Dieter and take them to Jean-Michel Traquenard. He used to date Minette, only she broke it off with him. He's pretty sure that Minette's assistant Heather has a crush on him. Well, he's young, German, and cute. Have you ever heard of a fashion photographer named Dieter von Schwesterkrank? JJ can. In fact, she has to. She's a couple pounds shy of being the perfect size 12 that Minette needs. She says the acting practice that lying gives her helps her be a better model. First she yells and throws things. Then she screams like a banshee at the top of her lungs. Then she sobs like the world's biggest baby. And then she laughs like a crazed hyena. And then she's fine. Actually, she was throwing it at Heather, her assistant. Oh, and Bess, according to Minette, when something is cool, she says it's totally rude. She has a tea therapist for one thing, and you wouldn't believe how she deals with frustration. She has this really freaky way of dealing with frustration. Well, the first time I walked into her office, I was almost decapitated by the potted plant she'd just thrown. You cannot believe how high-strung Manette is. In order to work for Manette, she needs to gain a little weight, so she's constantly making cookies for herself. She likes to lie to people. She's very nice, down-to-earth, bubbly, outgoing, just a regular person. I can't do that either. See, the airline lost my cell phone. I'm calling from her office. I can't. I haven't met her yet. I'm kind of afraid to. Well, she's very high-strung. Baz, slow down. You don't have to talk fast, okay? My dad bought me a phone card and told me to make as many calls as I want. It's me. How was your run? I'll try them again later. Me again. Bonjour.
Heather, where is JJ?
I told you, she's not answering her phone.
Hold still, please. I'm trying. Are we almost done? No. Ouch! Oh, quit whining. It's just a pin.
What do you wish to buy? 10 euro, 85 euro, 16 euro, 24 euro, 35 euro, 19 euro, 10 euro, 53 euro. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Come back anytime. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Come back soon. Perhaps I will have new things. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Here, new things come and old things go all the time. You must come back. 10 euro. I go no lower. My price is 20 euro. You may take or leave. 80 euro. I go no lower. The minicon is 10 euro. For the magic wand, 85 euro. I will sell that to you for 16 euro, no less. 24 euro is my price. 35 euro, not 1 euro less. 19 euro, that is the price. 53 euro, that is my price. See anything else you like? It is yours. A can full of pencils, very handy, and only 10 euro. That lamp is very special. The truck which rises and falls inside it, unlike any I have ever seen. Watching it will entertain you for hours. And I am selling it for only 20 euro. Orange is my favorite color. 80 euro. The traffic cone is one of my favorites. So colorful and so useful. With it, I myself learned to park my car parallel. And I ask only 10 euro for it. That is as close to a magic wand as you will ever find outside of the fairy tales. It was crafted by a magician who is said to have given it true magical powers. This is why for it I ask 85 euro. All such toys are special to the people that grow to love them. For 16 euro, you can be that person. Everyone can use a book on makeup. Even a pretty girl like you. It is yours for 24 euro. It is a very good club to practice with. And so my price is 35 euro. That is rare lipstick, like you will find in nowhere else. So red and full of moisture that your lips will look like tropical flowers from dawn until dusk. To you, I sell it for only 19 euro. Only 10 euro. Your instincts are very good. It is not just a piece of stone. It is a piece of history. That is an ancient key from an ancient civilization. I sell it to you for 53 euro. I take a look in the bag. So, now that you are a rich woman, what do you wish to buy? Merci. So, you do not take my money, but perhaps I take yours. What do you like? I give you 50. I give you 40. I give you 30. I give you 20. Tourist or no, if you like the bargains, you have come to the right place. What captures the eyes? If you like the bargains, you have come to the right place. I saw you looking at the monument over there with the cross of Lorraine. You are a tourist? Bonjour, mademoiselle. What you need, I am sure to have. Bonjour, mademoiselle. You are wise to return. I have many new things. You see? Bonjour, mademoiselle. What captures their eyes this time? Bonjour, mademoiselle. You are back. Bonjour, mademoiselle. Ah, when you have money, you must come back. Au revoir. Then you will just have to come back. 10 euro. For a flashlight that is ready to use, 10 euro. That is final. That is only 10 euro. Batteries included. 30 euro. That is far too little. €30, nothing less. That shark used to sit in the kitchen of the great sushi chef, Soji Yakimura. 10 years, using the biggest and sharpest of knives. And not once does he cut himself. That shark brings good luck. That is why the price is €30. I sell that for €6. Paying me anything less than €6 would be criminal. That is the head of a doll that used to belong to the best friend, of the daughter, of the stepmother, of the sister, of the uncle, of the last president of France. But because the body is missing, I will let it go for €6. The price is €18. These are fine gloves. I sell them for €18. Not expensive at all. €18, €30. For this, that is nothing. The price is €30. What else appeals to you? This is the best French-English dictionary you can buy in all of Paris. Not too big, simple to use, hundreds and hundreds of words. I practically give it to you for €30. €10, €20, €80.
Shh! You'd be fired. Bless you. Nothing good ever comes from killing things. No! Just go in there and put them back in the box they came in. Carefully. Don't kill any of them. This little box came from me, and when I opened it, all these bugs came pouring out. They're all over the place in there. You have to get them out before they lay eggs or something. You have to get them out of there. Look, I put up with the dead flowers, the letters, the paint, the idiotic phone calls. I put up with all your stupid threats for months. I deserve to get paid now. I made you the dress, so how about paying me? Well, does the dress work? I can't believe it. You never threw a single punch, yet you beat me. Life is so unfair, and so horribly unrude. This is what you get for sticking your big schnoz where it doesn't belong. I knew there was something sneaky about you the minute you walked into my office. I should have tossed you out on the spot and told Amy Grunhild to stuff it. Well, newsflash, sister. I am about to knock your nosy little block off.
Not everything, but enough to know that thanks to you, those two guys intend to use this dress to bug the World Summit.
You've been hiding in here, eavesdropping. You heard everything, didn't you? I don't see why not. Probably. Doubtful. No. Out of the question. Where am I? No.
Oh. Yes, you did. Heather, my pencil's missing. It was right here and now it's gone. You walked off with it again. Well, she's no good to me out there. Send her in. Heather?
Look at that. You've got a twin, and I used to think twins were so cute. I'm getting kind of tired, I think. I'm going to finish you. It's almost as if you can sense my next move. I knew those Ichido classes were a waste. Hey, no fair. You can't block my power force punches forever. Where did you learn to block like that? No one can stand the wrath of my fists of fury. Your eyes are all puffy. Are you getting enough sleep? Oh no, it's probably my fists. Ouch. You look pretty hurt. One more punch and you're done for. Soon you'll be making friends with the floor. Oh, am I hurting you? When I'm done with you, Amy Grunhild's next. You might as well just give up. Oh, so you think you can block me, eh? Who are you, some kind of spy? I knew you weren't to be trusted. Hey-ya! Get ready, Nancy, because I'm about to beat you at your own game. I'm going to pummel you into oblivion, Miss Nosy. I'm taking you out, Nancy, and I don't mean for sushi. You're no match for my power punches.
I'm a wide belt in Ichido, and after I'm done with you, you'll need an intern yourself. A medical one.
Music to my ears. I was hoping you'd say that. Good. Here's some money. There's a draft all of a sudden. It's very distracting.
All right, whoever just opened the door, close it right now and keep it closed. Can't you read?
I mean, probably just some practical joker, that's all. Hugo Butterly, eat your heart out. No, probably just some idiot who has no understanding of how much I have to do and how long it takes me to do it and thinks the world revolves around him and what he wants and can't understand why people don't jump just because he snaps his finger. Minette, you've really outdone yourself. I thought that... This is all very confusing, as you can imagine. You're going to have to leave while I sort it all out. Just go. Oh, so rude, Minette. No, those letters aren't from Heather. Rude! Oh, what?
That does it. Whatever you're doing, it's about to end. That does it. Whatever you're doing, it's about to end.
I gave you all the money you needed to get the job done, and if you've squandered it, then you'd just better figure out how to replace it. Now go.
All right, stop it right now or I'm coming out there. All right, stop it right now or I'm coming out there.
That is absolutely, unequivocally, 100% none of your business. And if you ever ask me anything about Dieter again, you're fired. Now go away and let me work.
Look, you are really starting to bother me. Look, you are really starting to bother me.
I'm sure it wasn't important, so don't worry about it. What else?
You're doing something. I can hear you. You're doing something. I can hear you.
Oh?
What are you doing out there?
Any more questions?
What did you say? Who's out there?
Whether they buy it or not is their problem. 10. I'm telling society forget the face. Look at the person. Look at my creations. The colors, the fabrics, the lines I choose. They are meant to enhance the person, not the face. The person. The face is inconsequential. Red. This mask is a statement, Nancy. It's my way of telling society that it pays far too much attention to the face. I design clothes for the person. Where did you come from? It took a bit of salesmanship on my part, but basically yes. It's a brand new blend, doesn't even have a name yet. Don't you have work to do? That's the one. You're not touching that, are you? Don't touch it. Don't even go near it. That's the dress I'm designing for the First Lady. Well, there you are. I was just about to call Amy Grunhild and tell her that this internship thing she'd arranged for you was off. You're not really talking to me while I'm trying to work, are you? No! This is junk!
Exactly! So I want you to count to 10, and then, and only then, are you to come out of there, all right?
Get me stuff! Go!
Okay, listen. I want you to take that box to the park and let those things go. Only I don't want to be here when you come out. Probably the only thing those twisted little vermin are thinking about right now is revenge.
This is junk. Junk doesn't inspire me. I need stuff.
And they're all in the box?
And these rings? Beyond rude.
Are you sure you didn't kill any?
These rings are heavenly.
Are they all alive?
And the film canister is totally rude.
How many are there? Did you get all of the bugs?
And I love the miniature traffic cone.
You're not going anywhere until you catch every single one of those bugs.
And I love the miniature traffic cone.
Stay in there and keep looking. There's more. Can't you hear their little feet scratching?
Oh, I love the miniature traffic cone.
You're not done. I can still hear them moving around in there.
Oh, I love the miniature traffic cone. Rude, very rude.
No, I'm not letting you out until you catch all the bugs.
And the film canister is totally rude. The film canister is totally rude.
Whoever just knocked on the door, you are fired.
The film canister is totally rude.
Go away or you're fired.
I need more. Get me more stuff.
I do not want to be disturbed. Now go away.
I don't care what you do with it so long as you get me more stuff. Good stuff. Stuff I can use. Now go.
All right, that does it. Nancy, you're fired.
But the rest of this is garbage.
Nancy, if you don't get that phone, you're fired.
But this other thing is junk.
That phone is driving me crazy.
I'll take care of this other junk you bought.
Get the phone, please.
Now go away. I have work to do. How absolutely positively rude. The lava lamp, the rings, the canister, the cone. They're perfect. I adore them all.
Nancy, come back here.
The lava lamp is perfect.
Ew, yuck.
The lava lamp is perfect.
Heather, you tell Nancy that she made my tea wrong and that unless she wants to be on the first plane back to the States, she'd better get back in here and make it right.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Stuff. I want stuff. New stuff that's just like this old stuff, only different. Now just take a good look at my stuff, then go. Go! It's about time. All right. Use this bag. Put everything in there as soon as you buy it. I don't want anyone seeing what you bring me. It could give away my whole collection. It'd better be right this time. They're all totally rude, but they're not enough. I need more, Nancy. You need to take the number 7 Metro to Pont Neuf, go to the flea market in Square de Vergalant Park, and buy me 4 more things with qualities identical to the ones each of these possesses. All those objects have certain things in common which speak to and stimulate the artistic sinews of my subconscious, from which all the designs I need will eventually burst forth. Just leave it there. That, in essence, is my spring collection.
Heather, I don't want excuses. I want JJ now.
The tea is utterly rude. I can already feel my creativity flowing again, building like a wave on the ocean, surging towards some unseen shore. I have another job for you, a very critical job. See the stuff that I've been studying? One more thing. See that form over there, the one I've just started to drape?
Hold still, please. No. Oh, quit whining. It's just a pin.
No.
Sorry.
Now go. Actually, make me a pot of my special tea first. It was custom blended by my tea therapist, so make sure you follow the directions. When you're done, pour me a cup and leave it on the table. A nice big boost of herbal energy never fails to get my brain cells firing.
I did it. Heather, I won. I got the highest score. Send Nancy in here. We've got work to do, and I am on a roll. Oh my gosh. Heather? Oh my gosh, I did it. Heather, I won. I got the highest score. Send Nancy in here. We've got work to do, and I am on a roll.
It's bad enough Amy foisting you on me like this. The day I become financially independent and can tell people like her to buzz off will be the happiest day of my life. Well, you're here, we've met, so get to work. Heather did give you a list of chores, right? What? Go away, please. I said go away. Get me JJ. Why are you here and not JJ? I want JJ. Now go. I said I have work to do. More stuff. How delightfully rude. Show me. Ah, you have some stuff for me. Let's see it. Get me stuff. Go. I need inspiration, Nancy. Get me more stuff. Get me stuff. Not now, I'm busy. I want that tea, Nancy. Well, there you are. I was just about to call Amy Grunhild and tell her that this internship thing she'd arranged for you was off.
Very well. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Then you must paint pictures. Allow me to explain. You wish to make money? You can paint for me. Another fine job. Here is your money. Be my guest. Do you wish to paint another? Magnifique! You have done excellent work, and for that, I reward you. Perhaps you just need to buy something. Please, no more mistakes. Ah! You have done it wrong again! Go, paint another. I saw this one out, but please, no more mistakes. I am not a rich man, you know. You have done it wrong. I cannot pay you for this, because I cannot sell this. But of course, that is a very good book about codes which are commonly used. It is a mere 15 euro. Take it. You have earned it. And give you this. Oh la la, you did it. So, I take this. Get me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968. I will accept nothing less. Get me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968. I will accept nothing less. In the meantime, Mouton Fouetté 1968 is a very rare beverage that is usually stored underground. Unfortunately, finding an intact bottle has become next to impossible. But if you want the decoder, the impossible is what you must do. So, I will trade you one piece of history for another. You give me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968, and I give you the decoder. Nothing, it is not for sale, it is a piece of history. I have it only as an eye-catcher. Bonjour. What intrigues mademoiselle this time? Bonjour, mademoiselle returns. Get me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968. I will accept nothing less. In the meantime, just step to the easel. Bonjour, mademoiselle. As you can see, you have many new things to choose from. What intrigues you? That gnome is fantastique. 44 euros, that is my price. No garden shall be without a gnome, because that one is in such excellent condition. I am asking 44 euros for it. 84 euros. For an award-winning piece of Hollywood? 84 euros, no less. Oui, it contains an American short film. I am not sure if it is about a beloved beast of burden in Tibet or about someone who talks a lot, but it has won many awards, and the fact that it is in a nice blue canister makes it well worth 84 euro. A mere 7 euro. It is an excellent coffee can. I practically give it to you for 7 euro. You can have it for 11 euro. The price is 11 euro! If you are the driver of a car, you must have that book. You never know when something is going to break or wear out or just, boom, explode. Peace of mind, that is what that little book gives you. And it is yours for just 11 euro. Only 8 euro. The imaginative buyer could put it to many uses. I accept no less than 8 euro. A little dirt, a colorful plant, and voila, you have a very interesting mobile planter. It is yours for 8 euro. That piece of American history will cost you 18 euro. This is a piece of American history. 18 euro is my final price. I am told that game was very popular among American gold miners back in the Old West, especially with those who had to travel by train. It is a real novelty, but I'll let you have it for only 18 euro. 45 euro. The metal it's made of is worth more than that. 45 euro, take it or leave it. It is a genuine Parisian manhole cover, one which would make a fine souvenir for someone back home. And it is only 45 euro. Only 18 euro. What else tickles the fancy? Vendu. That is the arm of a robotic monster with a very interesting history. The police detective who sold it to me says the arm figured into the capture of a dangerous criminal who operated out of an amusement park in America. I sell it to you for 18 euro. A real steal, if you will pardon the expression. Then, what would you like to buy? And now, what would mademoiselle like to buy? C'est bon. Interesting assortment. I pay you 50 for all of it. Interesting assortment. I pay you 40 for all of it. Interesting assortment. I pay you 30 for all of it. Interesting assortment. I pay you 20 for all of it. Oh, but of course, take your time. So, what are you going to buy? I like Americans. They are smart. I sell good stuff and they can tell. I like Americans. They are smart. I sell good stuff and they can tell. I know you are a tourist because I saw you looking at the monument over there with the cross of Lorraine. Bonjour, mademoiselle. What do you wish to buy? Bonjour, mademoiselle. What do you wish to buy? American tourist? Bonjour, mademoiselle. Monsieur Marchand à votre service. Later, yes. Now you buy something. You see? The lines are already there. You look at the original painting, you put paint on your brush, you paint between the lines. Voila! A painting which the tourists will gobble up. and I pay you 15 euro for each one you complete. Do you wish to start now? The tourists, they like to buy hand-painted reproductions of famous works of art. But as you can see, it is difficult for me to paint them. But for a young woman such as you, it is easy. By any chance, does mademoiselle wish to earn some money? Au revoir. Come back. Perhaps you will see something later. I will let it go for 8 euro. If you are cooking and you run out of an ingredient, that book tells you what you can use in its place. So if you must cook, you must have that book. Fortunately, I charge only 8 euro. Only 15 euro. Very cheap. 15 euro. The light bulb is 8 euro. 8 euro! That is more than fair! 8 euro. One can never have too many light bulbs. That book is only 15 euro. You never know when you might need to break a code. 15 euro. I have been told that it is probably a decoder used by those who resisted the German occupation of World War II. My fine feathered friend is only 20 euro. The price is very reasonable. 20 euro. 125 euro. Even if that wetsuit leaked, which it does not, it will be worth what I am asking. 125 euro. Not just any wetsuit. It used to belong to a friend of the famous undersea explorer Jacques Cousteau, a friend who is said to have shared many adventures with him. For that reason, I sell it for 125 euro. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Au revoir. Maybe you will want something next time. Au revoir. I get new things all the time. You must come back. The norm is 44 euro.
This crystal pyramid you can find nowhere else. 8 euros, that is my price. Put some flowers around the bottom and voila, you have a centerpiece. And I ask only 8 euros. She costs 12 euros. That is an insult to me and to Fifi. I say 12 euros, I mean 12 euros. Ah, that is Fifi. I received Fifi on my 6th birthday from my dear grandmother. So much do I love her that I take better care of Fifi than I do myself. It hurts my heart to sell her, but one must give up childish things, no? For 12 euros, my old friend Fifi can be your new friend. That is 10 euros. For a child who loves soft, squishy blue things, it is a wonderful toy. 10 euros or no sale. It is a very nice shade of blue, and it is only 10 euros. I sell for 25 euros. That book is a classic. I take no less than 25 euros. That book makes everyone who reads it an expert. Read it and your thumb, it turns green right before your eyes. It is yours for 25 euros. The price is 35 euros. That wheel is in perfect condition. 35 euros is my final price. With imagination, that wheel can be put to many uses, which is why the price is 35 euros. 15 euros. 1 euro is like I give them to you. 15 euros, no less. They are green magic rings. They cost 15 euros. The price is 15 euros. For my brother's favorite toy, any less than 15 euros is an insult. That is the favorite toy of my brother. My sister paints it orange to spite him, and still my brother loves it. He lets me sell it only because today he is an engineer and no longer needs a toy train. The price is 15 euros. The price is 12 euros. You cannot get a spoon like this in all of Paris. It is worth 12 euros. What else do you like? Voila! You can get a Sunday spoon like that in only one place. From a hotel in an amusement park which is said to be haunted. It is very special, and yet I sell for only 12 euros. Then you buy from me. What do you like? I buy from you, now you buy from me. What do you like? Good. For this I give you 50 euros. For this I give you 40 euros. For this I give you 30 euros. For this I give you 20 euros. If the stuff is good, perhaps, you let me see? You see something you like? Tourists are good. I welcome tourists. I am Malika. I sell fine things from around the world. The others who sell here, they sell things which they pry from the muck of their basements. If you buy, I speak whatever you like. I am Malika. I sell fine things from around the world. The others here, they sell things which they pry from the muck of their basements. If you buy, I speak whatever you like. I see you over there at the monument with the cross of Lorraine. You are a tourist? Bonjour, mademoiselle. Welcome back. What do you like? You are sure to find something you like. Bonjour. I have many new things, you see? You cannot stay away. This is good. What do you like? Bonjour, mademoiselle. The tourist returns. Bonjour. Lequel préférez-vous? Au revoir, mademoiselle. That is not good. When you can buy, you come back. I sell for 13 euros. The price is 13 euros. That is made of the finest wood, and it can be used for many, many things. It is one of my most popular items. For that reason, I sell for 13 euros. 6 euros. You not only get string, you get a spool too. The price is 6 euros. That is very good string. Very strong. Very good to have around. You can buy for only 6 euros. 60 euros. That hat is the real deal. I sell for 60 euros, take or leave. That is the hat of a real cowboy from Texas. It is authentic and very well made, so I sell for 60 euros. It costs 23 euros. That book could save your life. I sell it for 23 euros. That book is very good. If you are around dangerous people, then you must get this book. You pay only 23 euros. No one has mint but me. You want mint, you must pay 50 euros. 50 euros. Oui, that is mint. The growers of mint because of them all over Paris, all over France. No mint except for here. I have very good mint, not moldy. I sell to you for 50 euros. Au revoir. When you want to look again, just come back. Au revoir. Next time I have what you want. Merci. Au revoir. When you come back, maybe then I have what you like. The price is 8 euros.
Some people can be a little too rich and a little too famous for their own good.
All aboard!
Wish me luck. Love, Nancy. And I've always wanted to join forces with the Hardy Boys. I just hope this doesn't turn out to be another one of Laurie's silly attempts to grab publicity. That's the young woman who invited everyone. Actually, she didn't really invite me. She invited Frank and Joe Hardy, and they invited me. Here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where. The only person who knows where we're going is Laurie Gerard. Dear Hannah, his uncanny knack for making friends. Love, Nancy. Pretty ironic, huh? Jake spent his whole life searching for gold when all along he possessed something far more valuable. As for Jake Hurley, it turns out that his letter from Abe Lincoln is worth a small fortune, interested in what Tino had to say. And then he started calling her a hack. Then, well, let's just say that soon the press was no longer. She started calling him a crackpot. Joe was just about to belt him when a big argument broke out between John Gray and Charlena over whether John had really recorded Camille's ghost. Tino Balducci told reporters that he knew what Laurie was up to all along, and said he let Frank, Joe, and me solve the case so we amateurs could enjoy his limelight. She has yet to stop crying. When her father heard that she'd tried to seal me up in that mine, he canceled all her credit cards and said that from now on, Laurie'll have to support herself. Dear Hannah, some hostess Laurie Gerard turned out to be.
Hey! Hey!
As you wish. As you wish. Oh là là! Je suis désolé, Henri, mais la jeune fille n'a pas d'assez d'argent. Oh là là! Je suis désolé, Henri, mais la jeune fille n'a pas d'assez d'argent.
You lose.
Ice cream with a sprig of mint on top. So refreshing. Frog legs. A brave but wise choice. They are magnifique. The price is 10 euro. Your choice costs 9 euro. That will be 5 euro. The price is 12 euro. You need to give her 8 euro. You need to give her 11 euro. You need to give him 11 euro. You need to give him 8 euro. Merci, Henriette. Ajoutez-le à mon édition, s'il vous plaît. Merci, Henri. Ajoutez-le à mon édition, s'il vous plaît. Order anything you want. Everything here is superb. And Henriette, she is the best waitress in all of France. Order anything you want. Everything here is superb. And Henri, he is the best waiter in all of France. Out of the question. Impossible. I think so. Certainly. The owner, he tells me you did a good job. And so, as was our agreement, here is the picture you wish to see. A parfait, it is a dessert made of layers of various delectable ingredients. To make them, one does not need to be a rocket scientist. Now go! I can't believe she doesn't know. Of course, it's extremely unlikely that you will be able to talk to him in person. Even I occasionally have trouble penetrating the wall of sycophants that surrounds him. You see, the owner of this cafe, he faces a crise. The person who makes desserts for him has stepped out for his customary 2.5-hour break. Unfortunately, a bus full of American teenagers has pulled up, and all are clamoring for parfait. So, I will tell the owner that you will make the parfait, and when you do, he will be indebted to me and will allow me to continue using this table as my office. And I will be indebted to you and will allow you to see the picture. You see how it works? I do not remember seeing any dials in the picture, but as it happens, all the pictures which I use in my articles are stored right here in my digital assistant. I will help you, mademoiselle, but only if you help me first. I'm sure it was. Most photographs are these days. Why? You heard Henriette. Unfortunately, your days of ordering food at the Café Kiki are fini. You heard Henri. Unfortunately, your days of ordering food at the Café Kiki are fini. Le carte? Henriette? Henri? C'est rien. À tout à l'heure. D'accord. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Go right ahead. But it is no longer my treat. Order anything you like. But know that this time you will pay for it. But of course, you, however, will have to pay this time. Ground steak, or what you Americans call hamburger, without the bun, of course, and quite raw. Chicken dumplings, you are going to love them. Who can resist cassoulet? Ah, ham and cheese grilled on a baguette, one of my favorites. En français, you pronounce G like J and J like G. She may very well be JJ in America, but in France, she is Gigi. Gigi. You mean Gigi Ling. So, what else do you wish from me? So, do you, like Heather, hope to leave your mark on the world of couture? Some designers, they prefer to use live models instead of inert forms when putting the final touches on their creations. Minette is such a designer, and Gigi is currently such a model. Not like Dieter? C'est impossible. Dieter is a very enterprising young man, which in most cases is good, but when arrogance enters the picture, if you do not know, you will have to ask Gigi. Just because I know everything that happens in the world of haute couture does not mean that I repeat everything. Of course, it was Gigi's agent who misled her, not Minette. Nevertheless, Gigi seemed very upset when I talked to her. She does not wish to be stuck in Paris for so long. The perils of being a model, eh? I assume she told you how she was tricked into a current contract with Minette. She did a lot of work earlier this year for Ugo Bottoli, which, I do not doubt, is why Minette was so eager to use her. Unfortunately for Gigi, from what I hear, very well, which is surprising when you consider all things. But of course, I know everyone who is anyone when it comes to fashion. And Gigi, she is a breath of fresh air. His phone number is right here in my digital assistant. When I'm writing my column, I go to my office at Glam Glam. When I'm researching my column, I come here. I have my telephone, which can do everything save sing the Marseillaise, good food, and a chair for whomever stops by. When I'm writing my column, I go to my office at Glam Glam. When I'm researching my column, I come here. I have my telephone, which can do everything save sing the Marseillaise, good food, and a chair for whomever stops by. If the fashion world takes what I write to its heart, why should it not? My observations, they are intelligent and they are impartial. They must be. If I allow myself to be tainted by outside interests, my credibility, she vanishes. So too, my career. If the fashion world takes what I write to its heart, why should it not? My observations, they are intelligent and they are impartial. They must be. If I allow myself to be tainted by outside interests, my credibility, she vanishes. No, but that does not make me unqualified to comment on the designs of others. One does not need to be a chef to appreciate fine cuisine, Mademoiselle Roux. I merely assemble the facts. Who is designing what? Who is wearing what? Who looks beautiful? Who looks ridiculous? I gather the facts, and I present them in my column. You ask very curious questions, Mademoiselle Roux. They make me think you know more than you are saying. And as a member of the press, I'm not sure that I like that. Other than the people she has fired unfairly, the model she has treated badly, and the vendors she has harassed over the years? No. Other than the people she has fired unfairly, the model she has treated badly, and the vendors she has harassed over the years? No. Not to my knowledge. Ugo Batelli, without a doubt. Not only do he and Minette have similar design styles, so that they are constantly competing for the same coup de clients, but both of them are unthinking, socially inept egoists. It is a rare week that goes by without one of them insulting the other. No, but I tell you this, Nancy. Some women with noses that would put birds of prey to shame are perfectly content with their appearance, while others with acceptable features are convinced they are more hideous than Frankenstein. Self-image. It can make people do strange things. I believe she is the victim of botched plastic surgery. Our Lady of the Mask has fired 3 assistants in the past 5 months. I hope you are not next. In fact, that Ezer has managed to avoid the axe for this long is truly remarkable. La carte, s'il vous plaît. La carte, s'il vous plaît. Then you are an intelligent young lady, Nancy. In the world of couture, a single creation worn by someone famous to a high-profile event, such a dress can be worth a fortune in publicity, which makes it a desperately competitive world. A dog-eat-dog world. A world where bad things can and do happen to good people. You must order something. I insist. High fashion. Outfits which designers create for specific and usually very wealthy individuals. Clothes which allow the designer to fully explore and express his or her creativity. Merci. I was afraid Ezer had forgotten. So, you had the pleasure of meeting Herr von Schwesterkrank, eh? Ezer Mickey. Oh? What happened to Ezer? Enough! What can I do for you, Mademoiselle? Traquenard! Not Traquenard. It is Jean-Michel Traquenard. Please, in English. I do not wish to hear my native tongue butchered while I eat. As for my name, please, in English. I do not wish to hear my native tongue butchered while I eat. As for my name, Mademoiselle Roux, what is it now? Still here? Ah, are those the photos Minette promised me? Oui.
Do you think Brady Armstrong is cute?
Yes, ma'am. Could be. No, I don't think so. Ciao, Bella. Take care. See ya. Okay. Describe them. Describe them. I've made them before, so I'll know you're lying if you fail to mention the one thing that makes them different from other cookies. Describe them. Well, are they done? Everything you need is right here. Recipe, baking sheet, mixing bowl, measuring cups and spoons, ingredients, and if you mess up and want to start over, just turn around and dump it down the sink. One problem though. The recipe calls for fresh mint, only I had to toss the sprig I had because it was mouldy. So you're going to have to go out and find some more, which could be hard because there's some kind of mint shortage thing going on. Oh, and I'm also out of brown sugar. I think there's a way to substitute for it using molasses somehow, but that's your problem now. Remember, I'm going to call you when I get to Minette's. If those cookies aren't done, I'm going to go shopping instead, and Minette's going to go bonkers. Ta-ta! Well, all right. Well, I'll head over there. But I'm going to call you before I set one foot inside Minette's studio. And if those aren't done, or if you try to lie, too bad. Silly me, I just said that, didn't I? Too bad. I'm not going anywhere until these mint chocolate chip cookies are finished. Heather needed a bunch of personal information so they can pay me, but I refused to give it out over the phone. I'm real paranoid about that sort of stuff. Don't ask me why, I just am. Go ahead and take it to her. Oh yeah, It's right over there. Darn right I will. I keep it a secret because I'm afraid people will say that it's just a silly pipe dream, that I'll never make it, that I'm just some life-size dress-up doll with no brain. You saw those books, so now you think I wired explosives to Minette's door? I don't know whether to be angry or flattered. Okay, how's this? I have those books because it's been a lifelong dream of mine to get into MIT, and I figure it's pretty much now or never, so I've been cramming like crazy. Do you believe me? Really? Now wait a minute. That, my dear roommate, is none of your business. Want to play again? Sure. Of course! Stuff like that happens to people like me all the time. I'm just not going to take the chance. Want to play hangman? I'm flattered, but unfortunately he's out of luck. Nobody gets my autograph. I'm afraid that someone will use it to forge my name and steal my identity. You got it. For crying out loud, make up your mind! Okay. You know the rules, right? It's real easy. All you do is try to guess what 6-letter word I'm thinking of. You just say a letter, and if it's a letter in the word I'm thinking of, I'll write it down. If it's not in the word, I'll also draw part of the guy who's getting hanged. If I finish the stick figure before you guess the word, you lose. So, you ready? Anytime you want to play, just let me know. Great. Okay, I'll think of a 6-letter word and you try to guess what it is. Ready? Dieter really does keep a snake in his studio. This time I'm telling the truth. But in this case, I'm not lying. Usually I'd say you were a smart kid. Hardly anybody knows about it. I think it may be illegal. If you happen to be in there, be careful. That's what I said. Don't you believe me? You'd have to ask him. Just watch out when you're in that photographic studio of his. He lets his pet boa constrictor slither around loose in there. No idea. Although I suspect it has something to do with the fact that Dieter lets his pet boa constrictor run loose in that photographic studio of his. There's always Hugo Butterly, I guess. He and Minette are always taking pot shots at each other, although that's probably because they know the fashion media eat that sort of stuff up. He and Minette went out for about 6 months, then all of a sudden last April, Minette dumped him. Just tossed him aside like last month's edition of Vogue. Well, Dieter, obviously. What else would you like to know? You're catching on. Nobody pulls the wool over my eyes. Anyway, I had him take me to the hottest restaurant in Paris, and after ordering the most expensive meal I could, I stood up, dumped the dessert tray over his head, told him he was fired, then shoved him backwards into the fountain. About the contract? No, but about my agent. Yeah, but not as sorry as my agent is, because you know what I did? My agent led me to believe the contract I was signing was for a standard modelling gig. It wasn't until I arrived in Paris that I realised I'd actually signed on to be Minette's fitting model. I could be stuck here for a month. A fitting model puts on samples from a designer's latest line, so the designer can create each piece on a real live person instead of a dress form. It's not very exciting. In fact, it's totally boring. Plus, you're always getting stabbed with pins. But it pays the bills. Nope, it's just me. And you now. Managed to get a short-term lease. Soon as I'm done being Minette's fitting model, I am out of here. Contractually, I have to be a size 12. See, Minette is into curves, so she designs clothes for full-figured curvy women. Because I signed on to be her fitting model, I have to maintain the ideal size 12 weight and shape. I'm about 3 pounds shy of being the perfect size 12 that I need to be for Minette. I have a very high metabolism. So, I make cookies, I eat cookies, and since you're here, I share cookies. Heck no. So do I. And the nice thing is, you like chocolate chip cookies? I've got some people convinced that I won the lottery and am actually a millionaire. It's kind of fun. Some people, yeah. But I don't do it to be mean, and it's not like I'm hurting anybody. I'm just being creative. See, to be a good model, you kind of have to be a good actress too. So sometimes I make things up, just for practice, just to see if I can get people to believe me. Ooh, you're honest, you're smart, you and I are gonna get along great, Nancy Drew. You were right not to believe me. I made it up. The worst part was I had to toss out almost everything that was in it. Clothes, makeup. I mean, the stuff was 5 years old, right? What, you don't believe me? The airline lost my luggage once, told me it was gone for good and paid me $100. Then 5 years later, my suitcase shows up on my doorstep. And a bill for the $100 they'd paid me. Plus interest. Hi, JJ Ling. I'd shake your hand, but I get flour all over you. Oh, and Heather called and told me about your luggage. No worries. I have plenty of clothes in every size imaginable. Your bedroom's down that hall. Hey, Roomie, how's it going? Forget something? Oh, goody, you're back. I'm really bored. Let's play hangman. You know how to play, right? What's the matter? Well, if you had a suitcase, you'd be packing it. Read it and weep. It's been real, Roomie. But according to this, safe and E. Looks like you and I are both out of a job. Check it out. Afraid I've got some bad news. Take a look. Here, here. You're not talking about me, are you? You got that right. I heard that. Hang on, I almost forgot. I'm trying. Are we almost done? Ouch! Ouch! You know what? I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but I'm totally hangmaned out. I don't think I want to play anymore. Ever. Phew, let's give this game a rest for a while. Play again? You won! Want to see the word? Here's the word. And the word was, you lose. You lose. Incorrect. Oopsie. Nope. Wrong. Afraid not. Sorry. Right you are. That's a winner. Correct. Bingo. Come in. Set your things down and come on over here.
I can't use that here.
You don't. There's a lock on it, but Minette is convinced that if she opens it, all the wickedness in there will escape and wreak havoc. Go ahead and open it. Uh-oh, what's it say? Better do it over. That looks wrong. Nope. I think you'd better try again. Do that one over. I don't think that's right. Excellent. Looks good to me. You're on a roll. Good job. By George, I think you've got it. That looks right. I can hear you. You can say that again. Hello? I heard that. You got it. That's a project I'm working on. Well, supposed to be working on. Nancy? Nancy, get the phone. That's the plotter. It's broken. Fixing it is one of your jobs. Answer that, would you please? You made the tea wrong again. Nancy? I'm afraid I have no idea. If you need to talk to Minette, good luck. She's playing that ridiculous online game she's obsessed with and refuses to do anything else until she gets the highest score. It is so aggravating. That's a no-no. Leave that alone, okay? You're not messing with Minette's dodo box, are you? Yes, Minette keeps it locked. She says if its contents are disturbed, there's no telling what mauvais choses could occur. Oh no, not another one. Go ahead and open it. It's all very weird, but it works, and believe me, without it, she would be impossible to work for. With it, she's a mere nightmare to work for. Anyway, at least she will be after Phase 3, which should begin right about now. They lost your suitcase? That's terrible. Well, at least you're staying with Jing Jing. She'll have tons of clothes you can borrow. Nope. Sorry. No problem. I guess so. Get it done now. Take my advice, Nancy. Get it done now. Have fun. Okay. Allez, bye-bye. Whenever you have questions, just ask. I thought when she dumped him like that he'd finally come to his senses and realize that I'm the one he should be with. But even now, even after she broke up with him, she still has some kind of weird, sick hold on him. See, she uses this process that some shrink taught her to manage anger and frustration. First, she vents her rage for 10 seconds, then 6 seconds of sobs and tears, and finally, at least 4 seconds of robust laughter, all of which restores her positive flux. It's a Minette thing. You wouldn't understand. No one would. Oh, you mean Minette? Don't worry, she's fine. Whenever she's creating a new line, she'll sit at her drawing board and stare at objects that she feels drawn to on some subconscious level until her creative logjam is broken and ideas start to flow. It's just another wacky Minette thing. Probably using it for inspiration. Probably using it for inspiration. Minette always throws things when she's upset. Remember what happened when you first arrived? I came in one morning last month, and there it was. Minette must have had a bad night. You're a genius. Now get in there before she decides she has to beat that score. Uh-oh. Guess what you get to do over? You heard her. Go like the wind. Who knows? Sometimes I think she's even more neurotic than Minette. It seems that Minette has finally thought up all the designs she needs for her spring collection, but instead of putting them down on paper, like a normal designer, she insists on creating them on a live model, hence her sudden, desperate need for JJ. I stink at them. But if somebody could get online, play that stupid game and get the highest score while pretending to be her, she wouldn't know the difference and we could all get back to work. Anyway, it would be worth a shot. Tell me about it. To have any chance of meeting her deadlines, she has to keep working. But there she is, mesmerized once again by that silly game. Wait a minute. How good are you at computer games? On the off chance that Minette has an upcoming show, it's extremely doubtful that whoever books the models will consider, even for a second, hiring some corn-pone little blabbermouth from Podunkville, USA. So looks like you blew it, Nancy. For both of us. Look, you're not going to tell Minette about this, are you? There's really no need. It'll just upset her all over again. And she's so far behind as it is. And there's no telling how she'd take it out on me. Or on you, for that matter, just for telling her. So don't say anything to her, okay? None, I swear. You really don't miss a trick, do you? Okay. Couple months ago, I got so fed up with her that I just had to get back at her somehow. I'd seen how upset those other letters made her, so I sent one of my own, but just that one. And I never intended to really do anything to her. I just wanted her to suffer. You know, emotionally. You opened Minette's dodo box? Can you prove it? What? You think I wrote those letters? His office is the Café Kiki on the Rue des Mauvais Garçons in the Marais. Look for the bald guy at the corner table. He'll have a cell phone in one hand and a fork in the other. Jean-Michel Trequenard is the fashion editor for Glam Glam magazine. All he really is a glorified gossip columnist, so it pays to be nice to him. Which, as you'll find out, ain't easy. No, that's all right. It can wait. Getting those prints to Jean-Mi is much more important. She's designing the dress the First Lady will wear to the World Summit in November. Pretty cool, huh? What? As it turns out, I have to run an errand in that area, so I'll pick up those fabric photos. He's this awesome fashion photographer. But listen, just put it in the dodo box. Why? I mean, if you were some kind of private detective, I'd say sure, but since you're not. She locks the letters up in her dodo box over there in order to neutralize them. Letters, phone calls, they started sometime in April, then they stopped, then they started up again in July. And last month, someone sent Minette dead flowers every day for a week. That's a Metro Pass. It'll let you ride the subway all over the city for free. Go ahead and take it. In fact, don't say anything to her about that letter. It'll just upset her. And if she falls any further behind, she'll have to cancel her show next month. And if that happens, she may as well cancel her career. Sometimes she refuses to say. Other times she says it's because some mysterious man in black threw acid on her. I think it's because she just likes to get people's tongues wagging. No, no one did. Not even Dieter. That was her boyfriend at the time. Dieter von Schwesterkrank, the fashion photographer. All I know is that back in March, on the last day of her big fall show, she showed up wearing that mask and she hasn't taken it off since. In fact, if there's one thing I've learned from Minette, it's that how a designer behaves is likely to get her just as much attention in the fashion world as what she designs. Seem eccentric? The woman wears a mask. She is eccentric. And fashion editors eat it up. As if. But she has gotten a lot of press out of it. See, Minette has this thing about curves. She claimed working in a quasi-round environment like this would make her more productive. My portfolio can wait. If she came out and caught me showing you my designs instead of hers, yikes. Well, I'd love to show them to you. I don't know. Well, I studied it. As soon as you feel up to it, she's right through that door. On what? What's up?
Well, she's no good to me out there. Send her in.
Yes, Minette.
Call back anytime. It was nothing. Goodbye. She would encode messages. That is, she would take a message and translate it into a string of symbols so that even if the Germans intercepted it, they wouldn't be able to understand it. She undoubtedly knew how to decode messages from other resistance members as well. Collaborators were French citizens who not only failed to resist the occupation, but actually helped the Germans keep it going. Because Noisette had worked for the Germans as a translator and had a German boyfriend, after the war many of her countrymen automatically accused her of collaboration. When it was revealed that she had been a member of the resistance, instead of exonerating her, that just made some people think she'd been spying for the Germans too. As I said before, it was an ugly time, one which poor Noisette spent the rest of her life trying to forget. Good. Well, if it does, what kind of message? Really? What? The vertical bar crossed by two horizontal bars is an emblem that was first used by Joan of Arc, as well as the Dukes of Lorraine in the 15th century. But during and after World War II, it became a symbol of the French resistance. Nowadays, it's not unusual to see it on statues or monuments commemorating the period in French history from 1940 to 1945. She oversaw many of the services which the citizens of Paris enjoyed every day. Streets, bridges, parks, their maintenance all came under Noisette's purview. She particularly enjoyed putting various forms of art on permanent display in various public places, especially parks. The German army entered Paris on June 14, 1940, and after France formally surrendered on June 22nd, the Germans controlled the city. They took whatever they wanted, food, supplies, houses, artwork, and dictated how Parisians were to live their lives. Naturally, their presence was deeply resented. Some people ignored the situation as best they could. Some collaborated with the Germans, while others, like those in the resistance, fought back until the city was finally liberated on August 25, 1944. That was the name given to the various groups of men and women who did their best to undermine Germany's military occupation of France during World War II. Some would engage in strikes and sabotage, while others would collect and pass intelligence along to the Allies. Needless to say, their operations were highly covert and very dangerous. I'd appreciate it. Any other questions? Now, I've got a question for you. In the hours before she died, Noisette was said to have constantly muttered 3 words: red, left, green. Is there anything inside the Moulin that has to do with red, left, green? Anything at all? I assume that the person she was referring to was Hans von Schwesterkrank, who passed away a year or 2 ago, and that the place was her beloved Moulin, which is where she lived for almost half a century after the war. That's why I'm hoping Minette will allow me to visit it. I assume that the person she was referring to was Hans von Schwesterkrank, who passed away a year or 2 ago, and that the place was her beloved Moulin, which is why I'm hoping Minette will allow me to visit it. In any case, Noisette was terribly hurt that the city she loved had turned on her like that. After her trial, she told the press that the truth of what she'd done during the war resided in her and in the person and place she loved the most. And that was that. She never spoke of her wartime activities again. The artwork remains lost to this day. No one knows exactly what Noisette took, or if indeed she took anything. The artwork remains lost to this day. No one knows exactly what Noisette took, or if indeed she took anything. You see, well, some people said she stole them for herself. And unfortunately, I'm afraid I have no idea. Hans left Paris right after the war and never returned, leaving Noisette to fend for herself. She was tried as a collaborator in 1946 and acquitted, but the experience left her quite bitter. Hans left Paris right after the war and never returned, leaving Noisette to fend for herself. She was tried as a collaborator in 1946 and acquitted, but the experience left her quite bitter. You see, his name was Hans von Schwesterkrank. And after the war, things got ugly. Especially when people found out she was romantically involved with a German soldier. From 1942 until the liberation of Paris, Noisette worked as a translator for the Germans by day and an encoder for the French resistance by night. This, as you might imagine, made everyone suspicious of her, both French and Germans alike. She never married, you know, very private person. She served as Paris's director of public works for more than 20 years. Yet not one person has been able to tell me what her favorite color was. Some people said that during the war she took various pieces of artwork, mostly from churches, and stashed them away somewhere so they wouldn't fall into enemy hands. She lived there for 55 years, from 1949 to 2004. She sold it when she moved to Provence, which is where she passed away. Certainly. Oh, she's finally calling me back? Wonderful! Please, put her on. I heard. Well, 6 weeks it is then. Thank you anyway. Bonjour, my name is Lynn Manrique. I'm with the Modern History Department at UC Kearns in the States, and I'm following up on the letter I sent to Minette about 2 weeks ago concerning Noisette Tornade. Hello. You've reached the Modern History Department at UC Kearns. Unfortunately, we're all either out researching something of great historical significance or we're just plain out. But in any case, we can't take your call. Please try back later. Thank you. More questions? Yes, of course. What can I do for you? Modern European History, Lynn Manrique.
Tell her we're sorry, but Minette is extremely busy and won't be able to get back to her for at least 6 weeks. It's that historian person, isn't it?
After the first lady takes possession, that is our deal. Yeah. What about when I whispered? And when I turned my back? Could you hear what I said then?
In preparation for our landing, please make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened. Thank you.
Anytime. Glad to help. Bye, Nancy. Say what? Naturally. See you, Nance. If you need anything else, just ask. You need a hint? We're your men. Au revoir. Same here. Au revoir. Au rev. Ditto. Don't be a stranger. Take care. Call back anytime. See ya. Keep in touch. Bye, Nancy. Good point. You think he's telling the truth, Nancy? Oh, about what? She's in the Latin Quarter of Paris, Joe, not Latin America. We thought you'd never ask. What would you like us to tell you? Forget Minette. You're on the trail of lost treasure here, Nancy. And in my book, lost treasure beats out neurotic fashion designers wearing masks by a mile. What's wrong, Nancy? Those symbols must somehow mark where the stuff is hidden. Oh, as in Noisette what's-her-name, the lady who hid that artwork during the war. Noisette Tornade. Did you find what you were looking for? Whoa, by yourself? What are you supposed to do now? Sounds like one weird dude. Except for the part about wanting JJ's autograph. In fact, Joe, it was just a thought. Me too. That's beyond creepy. That's freaky creepy. Piece of cake. Not. So what are you going to do? I wouldn't mind having her autograph. Just a thought. How specific? Actually, that's super creepy. Like I said, pretty creepy. We went to the catacombs when we were in Paris. Remember that, Frank? Pretty creepy. That tunnel is part of the catacombs? He's in love with Minette? The masked madwoman of the Moulin Noir? That was very poetic, Joe. Thank you, Frank. I have my moments. Ah, so he's trying to find the lost artwork. The plot thickens. Big time. Whoa. Does Vaughn, what's-his-face, know all that too? Sure wouldn't hurt. Well, you know what you should do next. You mean nothing that he'll admit to. So what does this Dieter guy know about the tunnel? How did you find the door? What does the tunnel lead to? Oh, come on. She's a model. That doesn't mean she's stupid, Joe. Well, it sorta does. Doesn't it? MIT? As in the Massachusetts Institute of Technology? She expected you to believe that? Wait a minute. You don't think Jing Jing left that device on the door, do you? Come on. She's a model. That doesn't mean she's stupid, Joe. Well, it sorta does. Doesn't it?
Joe.
And? Why would she have books on electrical engineering? More to the point, why was she trying to hide them? Well, keep an eye out, Nance. Until you have good reason to think otherwise, everybody's a suspect. It's probably safe to assume that it's the same person who booby-trapped her door, don't you think? Well, if and when you do, you'd better be careful. Yeah, or you might find something attached to your door. Actions speak louder than words. I'd keep an eye on her, Nancy. Could she have been trying to get back at Minette for something? Heather may have booby-trapped her door to get back at her. If that's the case, she may try to get back at you too, Nancy. You'd better be careful. You what? Do you have any idea who did it? Someone booby-trapped her door? Did it go off? Okay, that does it. Jing Jing and I were obviously made for each other. You gotta introduce us, Nancy. Fate is obviously at work here. Joe, she's older than you, taller than you, wealthier than you, and from some of the pictures of her I've seen, I'm pretty sure she could snap you in half like a number 2 pencil. Oh. Never mind. You're kidding me. I love cookies. Are you kidding? I love to play hangman too. I think it's totally fun. In fact, I was just sitting here thinking, boy, would I like to play hangman right now. This is amazing. Joe, what do you mean? I wish haggling was common in this country. There's nothing better than feeling like you've gotten yourself a really good deal on something. And when somebody rips you off? Nobody rips me off, Frank. Okay, except for that bogus concert ticket I bought from Gerald, the budding juvenile delinquent Higginbotham in junior high school. But I was young then, very young. Minette is very strange, isn't she? It's people like her who keep vendors like them in business. I love garage sales. I hate garage sales. Sounds like fun. Sounds like a pain. Oh, Frank, where's your spirit of free enterprise? What kind of stuff do they have, Nancy? Oh boy. Self-centered? Big ego? So does Frank. Of the United States? That's pretty cool. Unless something goes wrong and Minette loses it. If that happens, it could turn into an international incident. Wonder what it was used for before Minette moved in. Yeah. You'd think somebody would have torn it down by now and built a bunch of condominiums. Or is it condominia? Somebody used to live there? I'll bet she was a character. Yikes. She throws paint? How long has she been there? Like that cabaret, the Moulin Rouge.
Before you left, you mentioned it was an old windmill or something?
Sweet. Oh. Think maybe you could put her on later? Oh my gosh. That was her? That was JJ Ling?
Joe, you're hyperventilating.
Of course I'm hyperventilating. That was JJ Ling.
What else is going on, Nan?
Let me talk to her. Just for a second. But put her on.
Joe, just calm down.
I'm calm. I'm very calm. I'm completely calm. I just want to say hi, that's all. Put her on. Oh my gosh. That was her? That was JJ Ling?
Joe, just calm down.
I'm calm. I'm very calm. I am completely calm.
The heck you are. Now sit down. You're hyperventilating.
Jing Ling? The model? You're rooming with JJ Ling, the famous Australian model?
Is it somebody we know?
Tell us what.
Is it nice?
Courage? The woman designs dresses. What do you need courage for?
How many women do you know who go around wearing masks, Joe?
Oh yeah. I guess that does move her up there on the scariometer, doesn't it?
Is she talented?
So what's she like? Oh, right.
What else is going on there?
What do you mean? You have met her, right?
Joe, she's calling from the office. She probably means she can't talk right now because she might be overheard.
Have you met Minette? What's Minette like? What are you doing there?
What's that like?
The old windmill you told us about? Wait a minute. I thought you were in France, not Central America. Great. Exactly where are you? Great. Exactly where in Paris are you?
Carrying furniture upstairs. Carpet layers are coming to redo the basement tomorrow, so we gotta get everything out. And I use the term we loosely.
Hey, I'm pacing myself here.
You're in the kitchen eating jelly donuts, aren't you?
Not anymore. Not out of breath, out of shape.
Me? Hey, you're the one who's been taking a break for the last 2 hours. Hey, Nancy.
Frank! Pick up the phone down there. It's Nancy Drew calling from France. Everything okay? Hey, Nancy, what's going on? Hello?
Joe, pick up. It's Nancy.
Right here. Hey, Nance, is Jing with you?
Hello?
Nancy? As in Drew? I thought you were in France. Hello?
Hey, you've reached Frank and Joe Hardy.
Well, technically you've reached our phone.
So either leave us a message or call back. First thing you should do is translate it.
Then check out Minette's studio. Now that things have opened up in there, maybe it'll come in handy.
First thing you should do is translate it.
Then check out Minette's studio. Maybe it will come in handy once something in there opens up. Whatever. So maybe Monsieur Trackahoozits can help you.
You saw the picture in Glam Glam, right? Noisette used to live where Minette now works. There's got to be some kind of clue in there.
Hopefully it's not under all that paint someone splattered on the wall.
Even if it is, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Not if you take a real good look at the pictures in Minette's magazines.
Then just set the dials in the right position and type in the message.
And are there movable dials on the decoder?
Is there a message in the codebook?
I suggest you take a good look around that studio of Minette's.
All you have to do is stay centered.
After all, that thingamajig has to fit in somewhere. Next time you catch the metro, take a good look at the map. It's got names, it's got numbers, and it may just have the answer. Somehow that message is going to lead you to 4 numbers.
But the message doesn't make sense.
Maybe it's not supposed to. Maybe the words are all that matter. Look for ladders while you're swimming and follow them up. With any luck, they'll lead to air pockets.
Once you find them, just remember where they are and you'll be fine. Unless, of course, you tear your wetsuit on something and it starts to leak and your body temperature plummets and hypothermia sets in and...
Joe!
You'll be fine.
Guess you'll just have to buy a wetsuit.
I don't think they have dive shops in the middle of Paris, Frank.
No, but they have plenty of people selling things, especially used things. I mean, come on, she bought a lava lamp. A wetsuit should be a piece of cake.
That's easy. Don't let them find you.
Yeah, as soon as you hear them coming, find a nice shadowy place to hide and stay there until they're gone.
And whatever you do, don't sneeze.
I think she knows that, Joe. Sorry, hand slipped. You saying something?
No, Frank, I was done.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, you got your peeled potatoes, peeled carrots, peeled onions, but peeled eyes? Ow!
Joe.
Sorry. I mean, this time take a good look around. Don't ever say eyes peeled around Frank. Totally creeps him out.
Remember what that zoo guy said about the tunnels? About how they were underwater by the Mouton Beverage Company?
Try going for another swim. Only this time, keep your eyes peeled.
Remember what that zoo guy said about the tunnels? About how they were underwater by the Mouton Beverage Company?
Sounds like a good place to dive in to me.
For starters, take a good look at the wall where the passageway off Dieter's studio dead ends. You may have overlooked something. It might help if you checked out that symbol you saw in the passageway off Dieter's studio.
Just watch out. That could turn out to be a real zoo.
Or it could go quite swimmingly.
To find something that old, you'd probably have to rummage through every basement in Paris.
Maybe you could find someone who's done the rummaging for you.
Either way, it won't be a walk in the park. Or will it? You've never said that before in your life.
It's just an expression, Joe.
Gotta be a code.
Right. To break it, you probably need to know the year and how to apply it to those letters.
Even if you manage to decode it, the message will be in French, don't forget.
Like I always say, when in doubt, buy a book.
First, try to figure out what year the inscription refers to.
Remember, odds are Noisette is the one that wrote it, so the year must have something to do with her. As for those letters...
Those weren't threats. Those were incentives meant to keep you on track. And they obviously worked. You'll get your money when she gets the dress. Let's go, Gunther. Gunther, I could hear everything. With this dress, we will be able to hear every word that is spoken within 10 meters of the First Lady. And what we hear, what we sell, will make us the wealthiest spies on the planet. It does indeed.
Not to my knowledge. I doubt it. Okay. Sure. Adios. Drop by again. Auf Wiedersehen. Come back anytime. If you change your mind, let me know. You're welcome. Yes, very high res though. Very limited capacity. Would you like to borrow it? Right now, the only thing I'm interested in recovering is Minette. The French resistance fighter? I seem to recall reading that she died recently and that's about it. Why do you ask? So, you had some questions for me? No, never did. But don't worry. I'm sure it's found its way out by now. They get pretty active when they're hungry, you know, and I haven't seen it for months. But, just in case, watch where you step. Don't be ridiculous. I would never keep an exotic pet like that in here. Although I may have lost an exotic pet like that in here once. I thought that if I found that missing artwork, I would be a hero and Minette would change her mind about me. But I can barely keep my mind on my work these days, let alone on finding some mystical treasure. If you want to look for it, go right ahead. I told her nothing. Because for reasons known only to her, she broke it off. Sadly, you heard correctly. I can't help myself. I fell in love with her. Minette is one of the cleverest, most infuriating yet fascinating women I have ever met. No, I was too afraid Minette would hear about it. You see, since Minette owns the Moulin where Noisette spent most of her life, I thought dating her would help me figure out what that card meant. But then something totally unexpected and tragic happened. Yes, I give up. I don't care anymore. Unfortunately, my great-uncle couldn't remember what any of it meant. She used to be the director of public works, so I went to her favorite park to see if anything there might help me figure out what that card means. But I discovered nothing. You can keep that if you want. Unfortunately, my great-uncle couldn't remember what any of it meant. She used to be the director of public works, so I went to her favorite park to see if anything there might help me figure out what that card means. But I discovered nothing. You can keep that if you want. Yes, I give up. I don't care anymore. Something Noisette gave to him. Turn it over and look on the back. You could not have known that just before he passed away, my great-uncle gave me that. Oh, yes, I know all those things too. Hans was my great-uncle. But there are one or two things you don't know, Fräulein. As well as I care to. The way she's always pulling out that annoying word game and begging people to play. And did you know that she won a lottery back in the States? That's right, she's actually filthy rich. What kind of person models when she's filthy rich? There's something not quite right about that girl. Curiosity is not necessarily a good thing, Fräulein. I try to remember that if I were you. Of course not. You know, are you accusing me of something? For your information, I've written her dozens of letters. I've just never sent any of them. None. All my dealings with her now are strictly professional, with Heather handling any and all communication between us. She broke up with me by leaving a message on my cell phone, and she hasn't said a word to me since. It was an unforgivable outrage. I don't claim to be a paragon of virtue, but even I didn't deserve that. Of course I was angry. Who can blame me? You would have to ask her. No, that is correct. Oh, yes. You see, models do their best work in front of photographers they feel they can trust. So to thrive professionally, I've worked hard to develop an aura of compassion and trustworthiness. Unfortunately, all women recognize and respond to it, regardless of the fact that I will never return their affections, Heather included. I've said nothing to her because although there is no chance that I will ever reciprocate her feelings, I see no point in hurting her. Let her have her crush. Eventually she will set her heart on someone else and I will be forgotten. It's obvious to me that she does. Dealing with models the way I do day in and day out, I've gotten pretty good at knowing what women are thinking and feeling. It wouldn't surprise me. Heather's a bright girl. Her crush on me is unfortunate, but I can handle it. You see, most people are so afraid he'll write something bad about them that as far as they're concerned, whatever Jean-Mi wants, Jean-Mi gets, no questions asked. I refuse to bow and scrape when I'm in his presence, and he resents me for it. He's not used to that. Unhappy. Heather said that he wants to use them to illustrate an upcoming story about modern fabrics. He's a conceited nixnut who thinks far too highly of himself and far too little of everyone else to do his job fairly. Now you get to have the pleasure of delivering them to Monsieur Traquenard. What? Not about making prints, I hope. Then I suggest you stop bothering me and get busy. There is a binder on the bookshelf that will tell you how to make prints with the paper I use, which is Krollmeister Escachrome PB paper. The darkroom is through the door with the red light by it, and the 4 negatives from which prints need to be made are next to the enlarger. I'm sure you'll do fine. Then you will learn. Then all is well. Do you know how to make prints? I'd forgotten how unpleasant she can be when things don't go her way. My regrets once again. I regret to say I have not printed them up yet, nor will I have time to do so for quite a while. Had I used my digital cameras, there would be no problem, but unfortunately the essence of those fabrics was better captured by film. Dieter von Schwesterkrank. Please don't tell me you're a would-be model who thinks her career would take off if only I would photograph her. But you're not lost? Ugh, I must be losing my touch. You lost your passport, so you're looking for the American consulate to get it replaced. Only you wound up here because you asked a Parisian for directions, and you thought you understood what he said, only you didn't. Am I right? What is it now? Back already? Did you take all those photos for me? You made the prints. Now what? You're done making those prints? No, don't say anything. Let me guess. Just make sure you don't knock over anything in there. Some of those chemicals are extremely volatile. Help yourself! That's just a toy I made when I was a boy. Go ahead and play with it if you want. I still do. I've had that equipment for 8 months. Or was it 7? I once had 12 minutes to make 15 prints. Or was it 11 minutes to make 16 prints? 11, 12, 15, 16, whatever it was, I had to work fast. How are you coming in there? It usually only takes me 7 minutes. Sometimes 5. Never more than 9. I broke my timer, so you'll have to count to yourself. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Leave it in here, please. If you take it in there, you might spill something on it. The list of things I need pictures of is on my desk. You can use the camera I'll let you borrow. Go right ahead. Go right ahead? Sorry, I'm busy. Sorry, too busy. You're on your own. Sorry, too busy. The list of things I need pictures of is on my desk. Well, if you want, you could take some stock photos for me. A passageway? He never said anything about a passageway. Go ahead and explore it all you want. Just be careful. This building is very old. Go ahead and see for yourself. Just be prepared to go a little cuckoo. That's something my great-uncle Hans gave me. It's actually a key. It opens the panel over there to the right of the bookshelf. He lived here during the war. The place has been in the family ever since. Because I was going to send it to my grandmother. I thought she knew the woman. Turns out she didn't. There's no need. I don't want it. I was just taking a walk. I'm very busy. You'll have to come back. Who's there? Well, I see you made those prints. Let me guess.
But they're picking it up for her tomorrow. What difference does it make whether you pay me now or 24 hours from now?
You won't have an alarm clock in this game, but forget about sleeping in. You're going to be way too busy for that. To turn off the game and return to the desktop of your computer, click on Exit Game. If you haven't saved your game, you'll be asked if you want to do so. Click on Help for tips that will help you play the game. Click on Game Credits to see the names of all the talented people who helped make this game. Click on Game Setup to make the volume of voices, music, or special effects more to your liking. You can also turn off closed captioning, the words that appear during the game in the window at the bottom of the screen, and Auto Move, the arrow that appears at the side of some screens that allows you to automatically move in that direction. When you make a game-ending mistake during the game, and don't worry, everyone does, you will automatically go back to the menu screen. Click on Second Chance, and you'll return to the game, where you'll be able to try again. Click on Continue Game to resume your game. For example, if you saved your game or interrupted gameplay to access the game setup screen, click on Continue Game to start your current game where it left off. A word to the wise, periodically save your game, just in case. Or you may load a saved game by clicking on the name of the game to highlight it, then clicking on Load. Click on Load and Save Game to save your current game or to load a game that you have previously saved. When you click on this option, you may save your current game by typing in a name, for instance, Game 1, then clicking on Save. You can save up to 35 games. Click on New Game to begin your adventure. The menu screen is your starting point for the game. To access the menu while you're playing the game, just click on the menu icon on the lower left side of the screen. When you open the menu, you'll have several choices. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That will tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia from all my past cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous and at times really scary. Oh, but don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. Anyway, here's my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. Hi, I'm Nancy Drew. Since you can tell a lot about a person by where he or she lives, I thought I'd introduce myself by showing you my room. As you can see, I keep it pretty neat. Of course, I don't spend that much time in here. I always seem to be off solving mysteries. When you're ready to start playing, just click on the plane tickets and bon voyage. If you choose Junior Detective, you'll get more hints than you will if you're a Senior Detective, and the puzzles will be a little easier. Before you can start playing, you need to decide whether to play as a Junior or Senior Detective. Remember, this game takes place in Europe, so you'll be dealing with euros, not dollars. When you buy something, its cost will automatically be deducted from your change purse. When you get paid for something, the appropriate amount will be added to your change purse. In this game, you'll have a chance to spend and earn money. To see how much you have at any point in the game, roll your cursor over the change purse at the bottom of the screen. If there are a lot of words in the text box, use the scroll box on the left to move the text up and down so you can read along. And you seem to be pretty gabby, especially for someone who doesn't even have a mouth. You think so? Usually people only call me nosy when they're hiding something. Excuse me, Mr. Woogle Woggle, but I'm not nosy. I'm just very curious.
Excuse me, Mr. Giant Person, but you seem to be pretty nosy, especially for someone who hardly even has a nose. I mean, compared to mine.
Click on a response and see what your suspect says next, like this. Let's say I've clicked on Mr. Woogle Woggle here. Our conversation will appear in the text box below the scene, with his words in blue and my responses in white. Questioning suspects is something all detectives need to know how to do. In the game, to get people to talk to you, all you have to do is click on them. If you click on the clipboard with a check mark, and if you're a Junior Detective, you'll see a list of what I need to do. Organized person that I am, once I've done something, I check it off. If the book tab is active, you'll see my journal, which is where I keep all my observations concerning information I've gathered and people I've met. The notepad at the bottom of the screen is where I keep reminders to myself. Click on it and you'll see what I mean. To put the camera away, click on the back arrow at the bottom of the screen. You may save up to 10 pictures at a time. Use the up and down scroll buttons on the camera to review the pictures you've taken. Your picture will appear in the camera and be automatically saved. You can delete it by clicking the delete button, then clicking yes. Use the lines to frame the picture you want to take, then click. Then click on the button on the top right of the camera. To take a picture, open your toolbox and click on the camera icon. In this game, you will be able to take pictures using someone else's camera. Wouldn't you know it, in this game the airline loses my luggage and with it my cell phone. See the chapter called What's New to learn how to make phone calls while you're in Paris. You can close the toolbox by clicking on the square in the upper right-hand corner. To return an object to your toolbox, Just click on the tool icon, then click on the open toolbox and the object will go back into storage. See how the cursor turned into the item you clicked on? Use the key to click on the lock on my suitcase and you'll see how good I've gotten at packing. When the Hand tab is active, you'll see the objects that you can use to manipulate other objects. Find the key in your toolbox and click on it. When the Eye tab is active, you'll see only those objects which you might want to look at over and over again, like letters or messages. Now click on the Hand tab. If the All tab is active, you'll see all the objects you've collected during the game. Now click on the tab with the eye on it. To see what's in your toolbox, just click on the tool icon at the bottom of the screen, which will light up whenever you've added something new. Good work! You're a natural. When you click on an object with the hand cursor, that object gets added to your toolbox. See how the magnifying glass turned into a hand when you rolled it over the key? That means you can pick it up. To see how this works, move your mouse over this scene until the magnifying glass turns red, then click to zoom in. When your magnifying glass turns into a question mark, you can talk to someone. When it becomes a hand, you can use it to open and close things, pick up objects, and move things around. I always use my magnifying glass to scan my surroundings for clues. When it turns red, I know I'm onto something. When you want to turn around, move your cursor to the bottom of the screen until it turns into an arrow that looks like a U-turn or a back arrow, and click. Give it a try. Find the forward arrow and check out Mr. Woogle Woggle. He's my teddy bear. An arrow pointing forward allows you to go forward, while a back arrow allows you to step back. Sometimes up and down arrows are available too. Just move your cursor to the left or right edge of the screen and you'll automatically move in that direction. By the way, you can turn off this auto move feature in the Game Setup menu. When you're in the center of a room, you can turn around in a circle to see the whole room. To call them, however, you'll have to use a phone card. Just open your toolbox, click on the phone card, and follow the instructions. Read the chapter called Inventory and Tools to learn more about the toolbox. In this game, there will be phones you can use to make local calls for information and to make long-distance calls to my good friends Bess and George and the Hardy Boys. To go somewhere, just click on a destination on the map and voila, you're there. Whenever you leave a location, you'll see a map. For instance, you'll be getting around on the metro, which is a system of underground trains. But don't worry, it's as easy to use in this game as it is in real life. But in this game, Danger by Design, you'll be going to Paris, France, so things will be a little different. As always, your mission is to solve the mystery by stepping into my shoes and deciding my every move. I can't get in there right now. This is not a good time. I better wait till later. I can look in there later. No time for that now. I'll check that out later. Where is my fabulous Fabergé? My Fabergé will do just the trick. Wonder why this indentation is here. I need something that's the same shape as this. Something must fit here. Locked, of course. How can I unlock this? Where is my key? What I need is some string. I need to tie some string to this. If I had some string, I could hang it from this. Sue was right. I need a wetsuit. If I go in there without a wetsuit, I'll freeze. It's too cold to go in there without a wetsuit. This is where I should put a stake. I should put something that will scare that squirrel off right here. I need to plant a stake here. I need something light and bright and noisy. What can I tie to this that will make noise as it moves? I need something to hang from the string. Prints that are still wet go here. This is where Dieter hangs photos to dry. I can hang a photo to dry here. I need to put the negative down here. This is where that negative goes. I should put the negative back here. I need to figure out how to make a substitute for brown sugar. Out of brown sugar, what else can I use? JJ said to replace the brown sugar with something else. I still need mint. Can't make those cookies until I get some mint. JJ said I need to get some mint. Zoo sure picked a weird drop-off place for that autograph. This must be where I'm supposed to leave JJ's autograph. I need to leave JJ's autograph here. No way am I going in there without a flashlight. I need a flashlight big time. I'm not going in there until I can see. I hope I can find something that actually fits here. Something must fit right here. That didn't do anything. I need to decode this somehow. I need something that will help me decode this. All those eyes must mean something. But what? Anyway, when you get home, I'll give you all the details over a nice big piece of slightly damaged cherry pie. Wait till you hear that part of the story. As always, Nancy. As for Richard Topham, Josiah left him nothing. Although Topham still refuses to admit that he forged the first will and insists that he's going to contest the will I found, Dad says it's highly doubtful he'll succeed and that he'd be better off sticking to spoon tricks. It was rude. Very rude. Of course, I still have no idea what I was wearing, but I can tell you one thing. And as if busting a pair of spies and recovering lost treasure weren't enough, Heather took over Minette's spring show and had me, be one of the models. Believe it or not, I managed to make it all the way down the runway and back without falling flat on my face. As for Heather, after Minette was arrested, Amy Grunhild asked her to try to salvage the spring show. So she finished Minette's designs, came up with a few of her own, got everything made, lined up the models, and put on a show that Jean-Michel is still raving about. Unfortunately, I wasn't invited. As for the beautiful pieces of stained glass that Noisette Tornade hid away years ago, they have been returned to the churches they came from, and Noisette is finally getting the respect and gratitude she was denied after the war. Not that she was perfect, but it seems to me her biggest fault wasn't doing too little for her beloved city of Paris, but trying to do too much. All three have been arrested, which means Minette will probably be designing her next collection from a jail cell, and she doesn't care for stripes. She also admitted that the reason she had fallen so far behind schedule was because Ernst and Gunther Schmeck, former members of the East German secret police, were paying her a small fortune to create a dress for the First Lady out of fabric they supplied. This fabric was infused with microscopic circuitry that would allow them to eavesdrop on the World Summit. And there it was, the real reason why Minette wore that mask. A tattoo, which she later admitted she had gotten on the spur of the moment and which she instantly regretted, calling it the stupidest thing she'd ever done in her life.
You have reached the Paris studio of Hugo Bartoli, world-renowned fashion designer. As you might expect, I'm very busy right now creating my spring collection, about which I'm very excited. Regretfully, I'm far too busy to answer the phone, and as we all know, returning calls is such a bore. May I suggest you peruse my website, www.hugobartoli.mod, and use the link provided to contact me via email. In the meantime, my luscious fall line is in the stores, ready to be bought, worn, and enjoyed. Goodbye, then. Now, if you'll excuse me, whoever you are, I'm going to hang up. Goodbye, then. Whatever for? Neither she nor her work needs any help from me to stink. Let's see, her work is repugnant, pedestrian, completely boring and amateurish at best. How could I possibly like someone who churns out such dreck? Her, I know. I don't know any Nancy Drew. Who is this? What? Another question? Look, just send the oldest, moldiest, worst-smelling cheese you have to that address. Now quit calling me and get it done!
It was nothing. Ain't it the truth?
You'd better. You bet.
We are, aren't we? No problem. Have fun.
Amusez-vous bien.
Show off. Bye-bye.
Soyez prudent.
Keep us posted.
Talk to you soon. Call us anytime.
Preferably soon. We're listening. You betcha.
For a while at least, until we get all hinted out.
Of course, then you can always give Frank and Joe Hardy a call.
But for now, what do you need to know?
Nancy, you're in Paris, the city of lights, of beauty, of romance. How could you possibly wind up skin diving under the city?
I'll bet you did.
Note to self, before agreeing to visit a foreign city with Nancy Drew, have your head examined. So, you went skin diving underground in Paris on account of a criminal named Zoo. No one including him? You went skin diving in a tunnel on account of somebody named Zoo? Why? Skin diving? You went skin diving in Paris?
Where? In the Seine?
Great. I finally find a designer whose clothes look terrific on me, but by the time I get a job and make enough money to be able to afford them, he'll be in prison designing license plates instead of capris. But he makes such beautiful clothes.
And?
I love his stuff. I can't afford it, of course, but I tried a Butterly on once, and I gotta tell you guys, I look très gorgeous.
You think he's the one who's been sending Minette those threats? Be careful, Nan. Just because he said it doesn't mean it's the truth.
Smitten with her? She's such a head case. Does he have a map or something? Do you think this Hans guy was in on the theft of that artwork that's been missing all these years?
If he was, maybe he told Dieter where it's hidden.
Do you think this Hans guy was in on the theft too?
If he was, maybe he told Dieter where the artwork is hidden.
What do you mean? What kind of secrets?
Yet.
Why?
Good idea. Something tells me the more you know about that old windmill, the better off you'll be. Why? There's more?
Was it like her headquarters or something? Just be careful. Maybe Minette's wackiness is contagious.
Do you believe her?
Just be careful. Maybe Minette's flakiness is contagious.
You're kidding. Why would she do that?
Sending anonymous letters is one thing, but sending live vermin sounds to me like things are getting personal.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't start to get deadly.
Double yuck.
Did any kind of note come with them?
Ew, yuck. A German accent, an unpleasant attitude, and bad phone manners. Didn't you used to date somebody like that, Bess?
Except for the German accent, they've pretty much all been like that. Did he threaten her?
What was so strange about it?
We thought you were kidding!
What's she like? You mean, you really are?
Well, I'm thinking anybody ambitious enough to put up with behavior that wacky could be pretty darn ruthless, too. I sure wouldn't turn my back on her, Nan.
Yeah, that may be your favorite place to stab people.
How come you remember stuff like that and I don't?
Probably because you didn't take basic psych?
Oh, right!
Stockholm Syndrome.
What?
The Stockholm Syndrome. It's when a person who's being held hostage starts to sympathize with his or her captor. I learned that in basic psych.
Sounds like Heather is quite the survivor.
Or maybe she's the reason the others didn't survive.
Ooh, good point. Don't turn your back on her, Nan. She may end up sticking a knife in it.
I don't get it. I mean, how could anyone work for a woman who goes around wearing a mask all the time? Find out who sent those letters.
Just be careful, Nancy, or you might start getting threatening letters.
Do you think the threats are what's causing Minette to act so bizarrely?
Or is her bizarre behavior the reason why she's been getting threats? You mean someone's been threatening her life? An excuse to snoop. Yes!
Funny how? Please, I know as much about fashion as Bess knows about brain surgery.
Can't argue with you there.
You should see what she's wearing. I heard that. Your subconscious strikes again.
Dang, am I good or what?
He does business out of a cafe?
Yeah, Nancy just said that, didn't you? Well, anybody who does business out of a cafe can't be all bad. So he's pretty helpful?
See, you probably saw his picture in there once and filed it away in your subconscious.
Oh. How come my subconscious never seems to file away anything practical? Ooh, I love glam glam.
More likely it has something to do with all those fashion magazines you're constantly reading.
I hardly ever read fashion magazines. I told you, I have a sixth sense about these things.
What's he like?
Bald, heavy-set, and approaching middle age.
Maybe he's just as weird as she is.
Yeah, maybe he wears a mask too, only he wears his on the inside.
Oh, Bess.
How come?
He'd better be careful, or her crush could turn into something a little less harmless.
Is that good or bad? See?
Why do you ask, Nan?
No, but I'll bet he's young, German, and cute.
Why do you say that?
Because I have a sixth sense about these things. Go ahead, Nancy. Describe him in all his luscious Teutonic detail.
Well, look at it this way. Jing Jing Ling eats cookies. Jing Jing Ling is a model. Bess Marvin eats cookies. Ergo, Bess Marvin is a model. Or could be a model. You know, in some parallel universe type thing.
Nice try, George. But that's not fair. All this time thinking that I could eat cookies and models couldn't is the only way I could feel superior to them. You just totally destroyed my self-image. What? Models can't eat cookies? That goes against the laws of nature.
Be a better model, maybe. But a better person? I don't think so.
She likes to lie? Wait a minute. I'm all those things. How come I'm not a famous model?
Well, let's see.
I was kidding, George.
Yikes, she sounds certifiable.
Yeah, you better watch yourself, Nancy. We wouldn't? What do you mean, freaky?
So not only is she a nut job, but she's got bad aim. Great.
Rude. You know, that's got a ring to it. He is one rude dude. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna start saying that. She threw a potted plant at you? Before she even knew you? That was rude. Why do you say that?
So what can you talk about?
Then tell us about Minette.
So Nance, tell us about Jing Jing Ling.
You know how I feel about the R word, George.
Jog, we're going for a jog, Bess. Honest.
You know how I feel about the R word, George.
Jog, we're going for a jog, Bess. Honest. So Nance, tell us about Minette.
Whoa, wait a minute. A run?
Jog, I meant jog.
But you said run.
I meant jog. Hi, Nance. What's going on? How's Paris? Have you seen the Louvre? What about the Eiffel Tower? How many famous people have you met?
George, 3 words. Prepaid phone card.
Oh, great. Hey, perfect timing. We were just about to go for a run.
Oh, great. So where are you? What have you seen? How do you like Paris? What's Minette like? Have you learned how to design clothes?
Jog. It was definitely a jog.
And the best part is, it's over. What's going on, Nan? Hello?
We're both on, Nan. What's up?
Hello? Oh, Nancy! George, go get on the other line, quick. It's Nancy. And remember, talk fast. She's calling all the way from France. Hello? Hey, you've reached Bess Marvin.
And her favorite cousin, George Fane.
Only neither of us are available right now, so leave a message and one or both of us will call you back.
Bye! Maybe they have something to do with the other statues in the park.
Yeah, maybe you have to make them match those symbols somehow.
I'll bet you have to match more than that. Noisette was a very orderly person, remember?
Where's she supposed to get all that stuff?
I don't know. From those vendors, maybe?
I like my dog idea better.
All you need is something like a big dog. Something that moves and makes scary noises. I know. Plant some kind of little pole in the ground by the statue. Then hang a shiny piece of metal from it with a piece of string. That way, whenever a breeze comes along, the metal will bang against the pole and scare the little guy off.
Just scare it off somehow. Know anybody with a big dog? Look it up in that French-English dictionary you have.
Yeah, but Lorenz sounds like a name, so it might not be in the dictionary, in which case you're gonna have to ask someone.
Someone with a history of knowing stuff, maybe? You could use a French-English dictionary. Maybe one of those vendors has one.
Yeah, but Lorenz sounds like a name, so it might not be in the dictionary, in which case you're gonna have to ask someone.
Someone with a history of knowing stuff, maybe? Well, since Noisette Tornade most likely encoded the message, she would have made sure that someone could eventually decode it.
Remember what that historian said about how Noisette kept repeating, red left, green, just before she passed away?
If you can apply those words somehow to that code you found, I just bet you'll be headed in the right direction. Remember that little grill type thing you found in the passageway you discovered at Dieter's place? See what happens when you put it on top of that card.
And don't be surprised if you suddenly catch a code.
Take a really good look around that passageway you discovered at Dieter's place.
And if you find something, see what happens when you put it on top of that card.
But watch out, those passageways can be very drafty. You may catch a code. Maybe you can trick her into writing it. I got it. Play hangman with her.
Yeah, because what does she do when you guess a letter wrong? She writes it down.
So if you want her to write something down without her knowing she's writing something down, guess what you need to do?
But he's practically a criminal.
She's just going to call him, George, not date him. You obviously need to ask someone.
Preferably someone who's an expert on underground passageways.
Remember the article you read in that magazine at Jingjing's about the guy whose hobby is exploring the catacombs?
That zoo guy?
Yeah, call him. You obviously need to ask someone.
Preferably someone who's an expert on underground passageways.
Catching up on your reading might help.
Yeah, check out the magazines that Jingjing has at her place.
Take a good look at the little clock, and then turn all the other clocks to the time it shows.
The bad news is, turning one clock dial makes other dials turn at the same time.
But the good news is, once you succeed, something a whole lot bigger than that panel is going to open up.
Sounds like you could use a French-English dictionary.
Maybe one of those hucksters in the park has one.
Just don't pay full price if you can help it. 23 euros sounds right to me.
Just try to keep the bad guys behind you as much as possible.
Try trapping them behind stuff if you can.
For the really hard part, you might check those scribblings Sonny June left behind. Maybe he knew something you don't.
But the most important thing you can do is... don't give up!
For every half cup of brown sugar you need, just use half a cup of white sugar and a teaspoon of molasses.
How'd you know that?
When it comes to sugar, trust me, I'm an expert. Well, mint is edible, so maybe you could get it in a place that sells food.
Or, since it's in short supply over there, maybe you could get it from someone who sells rare, one-of-a-kind type things.
That's a good idea, too. We're just full of good ideas today.
First, why don't you try categorizing all the items?
You know, put the things you'd wear on your head under head, what you'd wear on your feet under feet, what you'd carry under accessories. Just make a bunch of lists.
Then study the rules that Prudence set Minette for each season and cross out the items that don't fit. Start with summer first.
When you're done, show it to Heather, and if she approves, design an outfit for cruise season. And if she approves that, go on to fall. And if she approves that, Viola, you're done.
Voila, you're done.
I knew that. And since he doesn't have a timer, you're gonna have to count out loud for the stuff that has to be timed. You know, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Just make sure you stop when you get to a number that's within the range in the instructions.
And whatever you do, don't knock over any bottles of chemicals. 'Cause if you do, kaboom!
Other than that, like I said, piece of cake. Piece of cake. Just follow the directions that are in that binder on Dieter's bookshelf.
Of course, you gotta remember to turn the room lights off before you turn on the enlarger. Oh, and make sure you don't put the print you're developing into the wrong solution, or into the right solution in the wrong order, or for the wrong amount of time.
Well, since adjusting one setting can cause the other settings to change, try keeping one of the settings constant while you change the other two.
Like choose a setting for vertical pitch, then systematically change the horizontal pitch and the ink intensity.
You have to keep printing out test patterns to check your progress.
But keep at it, Nan. You can do it.
Just click on the models to make them swap places until you get 3 or more lined up in a row or column. Quickly, that is. No lollygagging.
If you're really having problems making matches, press the Mix It Up button and keep trying. You can do it, Nan.
Not to put pressure on you or anything, but you have to do it, or Minette's going to miss her deadline. Password. Password. What word would Minette use?
Is there any word that's special to her somehow?
The one that rhymes with mood, maybe? Well, chances are it's someone's name.
And she wouldn't use her own.
So is there someone around there that's near and dear to her?
Someone or something? The objects in front of her? You know, the ones that speak to her artistic sinews? If you study them real hard, you'll see that they all have certain things in common.
Yeah, pay real close attention to their shape, color, what they're made of, things like that.
Then just go to the park and buy stuff with those same characteristics from the vendors there.
Simple. I know. Easy for me to say. Okay, try this. First, write down all the herbs. Then read the instructions from her tea doctor that are by the sink.
Yeah, that booklet will tell you which herbs you should or shouldn't use, according to what she's doing or how she's feeling on any given day.
So ask Minette the appropriate questions, then cross out all the herbs that don't apply and use the rest in the tea.
Just try to make it right, Nancy. If you mess up, there's no telling what Minette will do.
Arrêtez! Dis donc! Ne bougez pas. Vous allez avoir des problèmes maintenant. Restez où vous êtes. Restez là. Je vous arrête.